Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say go so, the remix.
DMB, Tuck Spice, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes, I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice, but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. But then it took a long fun I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the pen station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl.
Body me LP,
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you're my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
So the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep tearing in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts. Call me Santa. Claus, I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl home.
boy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me ass and culture, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'm a go-getter. Since I'm a go-getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Let me position this team very well on our day. How's everyone doing? Good? Let's see if we can everyone good? How's everyone doing? Welcome back. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro studio. If you can hear me loud and clear, please do let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. On your way in, do me a favor, hit that like button as you're coming in. Welcome. I'm trying to make sure that this light is not as funny as it's acting like now. Right now, hold on 1 second. All right. Hopefully that helps. It's all kind of stuff going on. Okay. All right. The ambience is a bit too much. And all right. Loud and clear. That's what's up. That's what we're talking about. How's everyone doing? Good? Welcome, D-Love. How you doing? Life with Natsu. Shout out to you. My incredible members, welcome to Fumi. How you doing, Fumi? Good to see you. All right, so let's do some house cleaning rules real quick while we dive into this topic today. Let me see. All right, great. Today we're talking about Mercy AIGBE. Really, but not really, but kind of, sort of, kind of. But we're talking about Mercy AIGBE. I have about 3 other topics to cover as well. So let's, again, do me a favor, hit that like button as you're coming in. We just notified everyone, so I'm sure they'll be coming in momentarily. Okay, my name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro studios. Over here, Men of Prestige, we talk about relationships, we talk about power, we talk about seduction, we talk about attraction, emotional intelligence, patience, and love. Let me just take a look at this thing. Let me see what it looks like on your end, and then I just want to make sure that the ambience is not too distorted. Okay, it's not bad. I'll just leave it alone. I don't know why it's acting that way. I just leave it alone. But welcome. All right, so like I said, we're over here, we just talk about relationships and all the different angles that most other platforms don't talk about. We try to dig in a little bit extra deeper, pause. Right, that's what we try to do here. But we're just trying to, we try to remain a student of particularly emotional intelligence, because it's something you have to remain a student of for life. Because the devil comes from a blind spot always, right? Always from a blind spot. You can't really memorize all the concepts that we need to master this stuff, okay? It can be a very difficult thing to understand, and I get it, because we're all raised a certain way, we're all socialized a certain way. By the way, I'm a 4-time author. You can see the books right there on my screen, but you can download the books absolutely for free at loveandprestige.com. And if you're interested in coaching with myself and my wife when it comes to relationships especially, you can check that out at lolaandola.com/coaching. Essentially, we live this life every day. This is basically who we are, right? In addition to the fact that we also counsel from a professional standpoint, confidentiality, we never come on this platform and tell your story, any of that kind of stuff, right? But a lot of times we have to generalize with this on this platform. I try my best to give more than enough examples. Like today, we're going to dig into a real life example, right? But we have to still generalize because we don't know those people, right? So if you're going through stuff that you can relate with, it might be necessary for you to engage a one-on-one, customized, personal level, coaching and counseling. So we don't do therapy, but coaching and counseling, yes, we do. And we do it together, just in case you're wondering. All right. Why? Because these are romantic relationships. You have to make sure that I'm not full of myself. We want a woman's perspective. We also want a man's perspective. A lot of people, what they do is like, the rest of it, right? Anyway, if you haven't joined the Prestige family on WhatsApp, you can join using that link. lolandlola.com/WhatsApp is the link. All right. But yeah, welcome back. I have Dara Music. Hello, Dara Music. Good to see you. Welcome to our list. I think I'm seeing your name here for the first time. So shout out to you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen right about now. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. All right, there's this story that broke out. I mean, Ice was here yesterday. She entered it a little bit, but you might be wondering, why do we have one of our actors out of Nollywood, especially I think she's more Yoruba Nollywood. You might be wondering, why do we have her, right? Why do we have Auntie Mercy AIGBE? Dara Music says, been here a few times from Obodo. Oh, okay. Shout out to you. I'm just noticing your name, but welcome. All right. So you might be wondering, why do we have Mercy AIGBE on the screen? We just, this kind of behavior where people set this type of foundations for relationship is becoming more and more rampant. Okay. It's becoming more and more rampant. People are moving reckless in the streets, right? And they are even getting smarter. IQ-wise, not emotional level. They are getting smarter. So sometimes they tend to come from this angle that is almost very, very hard to catch them, if you know what I mean, right? But the truth is that I can still tell. Okay? I was just listening to a story of a young man on on Clubhouse, and he's basically said he's been married 3 times. I was just listening to it. He's been married 3 times, and he couldn't stay married because he liked this thing, that thing. He likes Kerewa so much that he couldn't stay married, and he was basically going in and on, and he pays about £200 per week to pay Oloshos for Kerewa, to pay sex workers for sex. I have to say that, okay, at least once, right? And he was going in. A lot of people thought it was a joke. A lot of people were trivializing it and making it a joke. But the truth is that if you understand how the human brain works, you know that this is a bad idea. Even if you are the exception, and it's true because he painted the picture like, you know what, it's just who I am. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I just like this thing and it's not an issue. I enjoy my life. Somebody said, do you think you might need therapy? He said, no, because I don't see it as an issue. This is what makes me move. He's been divorced 3 times. Okay? And it's basically encouraging promiscuity. Listen, I don't speak to Oloshos and sex work and stuff like that. I don't. People have their reasons why they engage in one occupation or the other. But the idea that we should start pushing it to the general public and say, oh, it's cool, you just live your life, let people do them. No. Something must be said. It's not appropriate, particularly to be pushing that or promoting that. I'm not worried about people that's the oldest one of the oldest profession in the history of mankind. It is what it is. When people need to survive, they sell whatever they can sell to survive. But to be promoting it as if it's just, oh, let's just promote it after all, you know, or to promote bad behavior because let people do them. No, stop that. Slow your roll. Jesus Christ. What are you talking about? Right? No, we have children. Some of us are having children in the midst of this chaos, and we don't want them going on the internet thinking some type of behavior is cool when they were just on the fence. They just needed a little bit of guide. Like, you could go in this direction, you could jump into IT, you could jump into so many other professions where you can add value to other people without hurting them. So particularly, what was wrong with this guy? You know, he divorced, he let his wives go. The way he said it, they asked him, have you ever been cheated on? He said, yeah, I've been cheated on. What happened? Well, I moved on. He made it sound so simple. This is not simple ever. If somebody cheated on you, it's not simple to move on. That's what you're going to have to do. But it's not simple. If you're a typical human being, it's not simple. Right? It's very important that we point some of these things out. Listen, I don't like judging people either. I don't. I think it's a terrible idea to come off as judgmental all the time. I was just having a conversation about that. Judging people is bad behavior. It's basically you putting yourself on a pedestal. You're full of shit, essentially. That's what Jesus was trying to say. I don't know, John 7:24, something like that. It's somewhere. Thou shalt not judge. Let me find it. You know, judge not. Listen, somebody say, oh, I'm not really religious like that. We don't care if you're religious or not. Okay? That has nothing to do with nothing. I thought it was Matthew. Is it Matthew 7:7? It is. Oh, it's Matthew 7:1. Yeah, the very first verse. So you can't even claim that it's out of context. Judge not that ye not be judged. I fully subscribe to that. You can vet. That's not the same thing as judging people. You can vet. It's not the same thing as judging people. You can choose to move forward with somebody in a romantic relationship or not. That's not judging. That's not condemnation. You don't have that power anyway. But you're going to self-destruct if you move out in this. If you're continuing to move, a lot of young men are doing that. They think they know all the moral standard there is to know, so I'm going to judge anyway. No, you're going to self-destruct. That's exactly what you're going to do. Because that same attitude is how you're going to move from a blind spot. You're not going to be able to attract the level of grace you will need. Not you deserve, that you will need. Okay? No, the whole point of grace, I get it, is that you don't deserve it. Yeah, unmerited favor, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we get it. But if your outlook on life is that you tend to judge, listen, we're all going to judge. That's why the instructions from Matthew 7:1 came there in the first place. We're all going to judge. But that's why the instruction is there. It's that you slow your roll. Don't be quick to judge. With that being said, back to what I was saying. I'm not judging this guy. Let me point out why that's a bad behavior, to be moving out in the streets acting like, oh, let me just sleep with anybody. I'll just pay £200 every week and they can go their own way. Listen, you could do whatever you want in your own secret life, whatever your lifestyle. Listen, God bless you. Hopefully you're protected. Hopefully you don't. But to get out on a social media platform and start encouraging it is terrible. It's bad behavior. If you're laughing about it, you're just as good as that person too. Now, the second aspect of it is that you're socially awkward if you're willing to admit to this in public. Listen, again, you could live your lifestyle, you could do what you want to do, right? But willing to come out and admit to, yeah, I just pay £200 per week so I can get some kerewa and I just send them their way. That's being socially awkward. There's no better way to confirm that you're socially awkward. That's why you couldn't attract a person that will fall in love naturally with you. Okay, you just want kerewa. Cap. No matter how well you've been able to deliver your message, yeah, again, I tell you, I police talk here. That's what I do, okay? You need to learn how to talk in public. That's part of your problems, okay? So there's a lot of social awkwardness going on all over the place, all around the place. Welcome, Chiye. Welcome, Glamola. Good to see you all. Welcome. Hit that like button as you're coming in. All right, we're just getting started. So there's this story that Isa shared with us. She shared it, and I just found it in the group just before we jumped on. But I came across it on Leader AKG's Instagram page yesterday, and we're going to talk about that, So Mercy Aigbe, influencing and setting relationship foundations. Either these people know or not, they are setting the foundation for many, many, many relationships to come. Thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of relationships are watching these people, and eventually they will start repeating Ayen Sherue. They will start saying things like, I won't be the first, I won't be the last, right? They will start saying things like that. Okay? So there's a story on the internet that seems very similar to that Mercy Aigbe situation. I'm going to read it, okay? I'm just gonna read what she said. I didn't see too much on it, but let me go into my Instagram page. Let me share my Instagram page with you all, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see. All right. How's everyone doing? Everybody good? We're gonna try to keep it super simple today. Hopefully, we can end under 2 hours. 2 hours or under. I want to keep it short and sweet. Sometimes it's just difficult to do that. All right, so we have the Instagram page here. Let me refresh this page because hopefully I think I have it saved. Okay, so we're talking about this people here. All right, this was the first one I saved yesterday. This is the first one I saw. Woman calls out friend who snatched her man, baby father, after she introduced them. What do we typically say? Not we, but ladies, what do you typically say when you hear somebody snatch people's husband? One of the biggest talking points right now is that nobody can snatch anybody. You can't. This is a way to justify it, by the way. You can't snatch a person that doesn't want to be snatched. That's what we've been hearing in the streets, right? You can't snatch a person that doesn't want to be snatched. What's the point of saying that? I wish it was just saying that and as simple as that. It's a correct statement to a large extent, but I wish that's the motive of saying that. Yeah, that's usually not the motive of saying that. Okay? That's not the motive of saying that. It's usually said against men that cheat. It's usually not said when women cheat. Listen. Some of you may start seeing some patterns. That's not my intention. I cover the stories as they come. Okay, equal opportunity, equal accountability opportunity on all sides of the spectrum. Yes, it's a spectrum. Okay, so I know there's a video we released earlier today, something about women cheat. Those are all quotes. Okay, so let's just be guided as you're listening to them. Okay, but I know I can't help some people. They will still see it that way. It is what it is. But let's take it one word at a time. Okay. One of the talking points is you can't snatch a person that doesn't want to be snatched. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay. That statement is still true, but yes, you can. Okay. Some people are just better at this game than you. Oh, you didn't realize it was a game. Okay. I didn't mean game as in you're playing with people's heart. I mean game as in like skill set. Skills are involved. That's what I mean. Right? Very, very important to pay attention to semantics. Hit that like button. I just noticed the number just jumped to 28. Hit that like button, okay? If you're just coming in. Okay? Let me tell you something. When people say some things, it can be true on face value. Always ask yourself, what's the motive? What's the point of saying that? Because that's really what you want to tap into. Why are they saying what they say? No, forget them for a second. You yourself. There's certain rhetorics that you tend to repeat. It could be something as simple as your talking points. You could be like, judge not so you don't be judged. Are you saying that from a standpoint of you're out in the street moving reckless, you don't want people to judge you? Or you're saying it because somebody literally just tried to act like they're holier than thou? Those are two different motives to say judge so that ye not be judged. It's not the sentence that's important. It's the motive if you're trying to assess what they're trying to say. Okay? So anyway, This story broke out. I guess it's going viral somewhere, right? The story broke out. Let me push this to another page so we can easily jump back and forth. All right, are we still seeing the screen? Let's see. Let me make sure we're still seeing the screen. I think we are. Okay, good. So this young girl, I guess they're in South Africa. I'm just gonna read it out to you, and then I'm gonna analyze it sentence by sentence. The story is that she was a friend, and then she ended up snatching the husband. Ola, but you said some people are better at this game. Are you trying to justify it? No. Remember what we're talking about today is influencing and setting relationship foundation. Kind of like how Mercy AIGBE did hers, right? With Mercy AIGBE, again, she's an actress. She's a very big actress in Nigeria. We're talking about this lady right here. Them influencers, our influencers, the role models of today's modern people, right? You'll be shocked how many people are following after their footsteps, not deliberately, not outrightly, not in a loud way, but they will use some of just imagine how she's processing all of this, right? She's being judged around the internet, right? She's being dragged, I should say, not judged, because we try not to judge, right? She's been dragged around the internet for basically being friends, becoming friends with the ex-wife, and then eventually marrying the guy. You see, on the surface, it sounds like, what's the big deal? They're adults. There's some woke people that will think of it that way. They exist. Okay, what's the big deal? He can't be snatched if he didn't want to be snatched. Let's just hold the man accountable. Let's leave the man alone for a second. I know it seems that leaving the man alone, he will collect. Okay, don't worry. Men don't get away with this kind of stuff. They just don't. Okay, men are held accountable in real time, in real life. It will cost them. There's no way around it. It's women that seemingly may think they get away with stuff like this because a lot of the way they're going to collect is emotional, right? So it's kind of hard to pinpoint it. But everyone collects. At the end of the day, everybody, like nobody escaped this type of behavior. No one does. But it seems like, women can, especially if you're in the Western world, you can misbehave. You end up being having a baby for someone that you really should have no business messing with in the first place. And then, the government will take care of it. You hear that all the time. But does that mean she's not going to collect? Sure, you won't collect me. Oh, I'll collect. But usually spiritually and emotionally. For men, in addition to spiritually, emotionally, they will collect. Their pocket will get hit. It's only a matter of time. Real life, at the very minimum, his growth is going to be stunted. He's not going to be able to move as fast as he needs to move as a man in life. Okay? Yeah, he will. So, that aside, but let's talk about what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Mercy AIGBE and a lot of young women that are coming out and, with my full chest, let me just live my life. It's no big deal. So, this young lady apparently had been befriending, just like Mercy AIGBE allegedly did, befriending the wife. Eventually, she replaced her. And that's the story. So I'm just gonna, but after she replaced that, the first thing I stumbled into is the screenshot of the message she sent to the ex. Not just ex-wife now, but also was ex-friend. And the message, I'm like, wow. Ayemanika. So I'm gonna read that to you right now. Again, this was posted 23 hours ago. Linda Eke says, woman calls out friend who snatched her man, baby daddy, after she introduced them. Before I read that, let me just say this. Okay, so her name is Adiola. I'm seeing this for the first time. I saw the other one I just opened. I saw it already, but Isa has just shared this in the group, so I'm able to see it. And I see my friend here. I wonder what she's saying. I've invited her a few times. She hasn't been here. We see. But let me read this first. Model Adiola Ariyo shows off the men her friend accused her That's Adiola right there. The man, our friend, accused her of snatching from her. So they come out with their full chest and say, yes, I did it. Now wet. Now wet. In my happy girl era. She's in our happy girl era. That's a new terminology. Happy girl era. Are we in the happy girl era? Can somebody educate me? What does that mean? So I don't miss ya. Because sometimes when you hear things like passport bros, you can miss ya if you don't understand it very well, right? What is happy girl era? How is that different from soft girl era? Adiola wrote as she showed off, and I quote, Linda AKG blog. Shout out to Linda AKG blog now. Adiola wrote as she showed off her new man, who was her former friend's boyfriend, baby daddy. Okay, she actually was a part of the baby shower. Munira had taken to, Munira is the name of the ex-wife. Munira had taken to her Instagram stories to accuse Adiola of snatching her baby daddy after she introduced them. Okay, so I've been hearing this quite a bit. Ladies, if you're in the chat, let me know. Is this true that women tend to fight each other as opposed to fighting the man? I don't know why you have to pick one, but you know, I guess it's the man. He's manipulating both of them, right? Right? Is that why? Why is it that women will attack each other as opposed to the men that they were actually involved with? Is it, first of all, is that true? Is that typically how it works? And then why? That's a question for you in the chat. I would like to know what your take is, right? She was my friend. She said, can we also add that except in rare cases of manipulative voodoo? There is no man. How did I know? Show, why are you not here right now to defend yourself? She said, can we also add there is no man who can be snatched if he does not want to be snatched, period. The whole point of this, I'm guessing, is that let's not judge the lady. Let's also, this is the equal accountability thing, this battle that we're battling with ourselves all the time. Let's hold every side equal. I don't do that. I tend not to do that, okay? I tend to speak to the person who is typing, the person who is writing, or the person talking to me, okay? Because listen, I can't judge a person that I haven't heard their story, okay? I can't. The only thing you're asking me to do is say, oh, just say it. Just say it, you know, they are wrong too. Okay, they are wrong too. Now, can we get to the part of the conversation that we need to talk about? This person is talking to me right now. I want to address them, right? I want to see if I have an opinion about what they're saying based off of the limited information that I have. I can only address them, right? And then I guess the first one she posted is, if you're listening to this, you should come on the show. Okay, Cheryl is a friend. She has a huge followership on Facebook. Association of Bold Men Snatchers. Girls these days are not smiling, Sha. Exactly, and that's the whole point of this. But anyway, that's the list. So she's flaunting it, right? Let me see this one. I'm just looking at what I sent first before we get into it. Okay, this was 1 day ago. So this must have been the original post on a shout out to Inside Hint. Okay, I guess some kind of blog, I guess. Real girl snatcher. Betrayal lady called out her friend who snatched her men after coming to celebrate with them. Okay, before I continue, let me come to the chat really quickly. Hey, come on, shout out. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Hit that like button. Shout out to Chinye. How you doing? Shout out to Gorex Corner. Welcome. All right. Those woke people won't like it when the tables are turned. Exactly. There's woke people on all sides too, right? So it's woke people. It's not just one side. It's like, no, you see woke people at every side of the conversation, right? A thief hates to be robbed. They can dish it, but can't take it. Now wet. I said that earlier. I forgot what I said it to. Jesus, I'm so dramatic. Shout out to Mrs. She Said. Good to see you. Because women learn how to share very well. Pencil, clothes, trips, vulnerabilities, except their men. That's why, right? I'm just saying, the world will be more peaceful. Except their men. You think, so Miss She Said is saying something. If they're open to sharing more men, you think the world will be more peaceful? Is that what you're saying? Let me know. Let me get some clarification there. But yeah, let me get back to this crazy story. All right, let me see if there's more here. So that's the picture of, I guess that's the ex. Or this is the real girl. And this one is the snatcher on the side. I can't see these people's face. I don't know who they are. Apparently, okay, Adiola is a model. And these people are like what? Like socialites? They're socialites in South Africa or something like that, right? Who knows? Let me read the caption on those pictures. Real girl, and this is the snatcher. Okay? We're getting somewhere. We're not just talking about husband snatching story here, right? We're getting somewhere. Like I see a lot of people really, really thinking they can get away with certain type of behavior. Okay? AKA, for example, the foundation of a relationship, no be your mate. It will haunt you for the rest of, even if you stay inside of it and you guys last forever, it will haunt you. You will not enjoy that relationship at the level that you could. Just why? Because foundation is everything. The foundation doesn't have to be you outrightly doing anything wrong. It just has baggages attached to it. Okay? You could be correct. You could have done the correct thing on the surface, on surface value. I didn't really snatch anybody's husband, right? He was done with her. But, there's nothing wrong. I could just move forward. Listen, romantic relationships by themselves are complicated, but you're going to add this huge layer to it, and you don't think you will collect. What my shock, eh?
He shock you.
And they're usually shocked when it happens. It's like, I don't know where it's coming from. What? Of course you don't. You forgot. You completely forgot. Listen, it's going to be complicated. And it's never really about right or wrong. It's just pay attention to this. The foundation of a relationship. Very, very important. Okay? Very, very important. Even when you're right, even if you haven't done anything wrong, if it's shaky at the foundation, you're going to have to keep that same energy. It's going to be shaky every other year for the rest of your life. You can't even trust yourself. Okay? You can't trust yourself. Every time something happens as it's supposed to happen in life, you would think it's because of this marriage. You would think, could it be because somebody thinks Shemila to village wani? We're going to talk. Is somebody doing something from the village? You will start asking all those questions. Listen, all those questions you're asking take a lot of energy, right? Basically, a lot of energy away from enjoying life and love. Okay, let me read this caption. This caption says right here, says this is the day after I introduced my friend to my baby daddy. FYI, we were in a relationship. Wait, so are they in a relationship? Were they married or not? It looks like they were not married. It's just baby daddy. Okay. My friend. Friendships in the mud. Poto. Hit that like button. Thank you. And then this is another one. My friend flew down from Cape Town to surprise us at our baby shower. Well, baby daddy, this is single parenthood type of deal. I haven't seen anything about marriage yet. Okay, didn't look like they were married. Still, foundation is everything, right? So if the snatcher and the not ex-husband, so I should stop calling it the ex-husband, the ex, if they don't last, you can blame it on the foundation of this relationship, right? If you would get with somebody that outrightly left someone who was supposedly occupying the position of a friend, remember the Portia and the failing story, right? If you would get with them, any sight of anything that remotely look like that in the future, you will be triggered. You will misbehave, you will overreact, you will effectively create a little bit of a damage on that relationship. I said a little bit. Every little bit of damage can destroy the relationship altogether. Why? Because emotions don't be your mates. Just one small resentment. That's all it needs to destroy a whole marriage. That's all it needs. You don't have to cheat. You don't have to do something crazy. Just little bitty small resentment like this will destroy the whole thing. Are we making sense? Let's see here. All right. So, FYI, they were already. So she said, my friend flew down from Cape Town to surprise us at our baby shower. FYI, they were already dating without my knowledge. And she was smiling like that. Ayema Nika. That's her story. I don't know if she's telling the truth. But if it's true, Ayenika. Jesus. So I think this was a video. Cape Town chilling with my friends. So they were chilling together in Cape Town. This was 2019. And here's the saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. Listen, that's also very true. That's true. Okay. People don't come off the streets to come and betray you. They don't, right? So why am I saying that? Should you start watching all your friends? No. I want you to watch yourself. You might end up, because of stupid rhetorics, I'm right, I didn't do anything wrong, you might end up becoming the actual enemy of a loved one. You need to be careful about your obsession with right and wrong. You should do the right thing always, but it's deeper than that. It's always deeper than that. Always. 100% of the time. Okay? Hey, Temilade, good to see you. Temilade said the foundation might be okay, but bear in mind that people evolve. Yes. Let me go back here a little bit. So I'm not reading from. The snatcher and the snatchee should be held accountable for their shenanigans. Yeah, I even try not to hold anybody accountable. I'm just analyzing what I'm reading, what I can see. That's about it. I can't hold people I don't know accountable, essentially. Right? I will be holding you accountable here, though, if you're hanging out with me and you're talking in the chat, because you're talking to me, right? So, accountability in the poto. Some women purposefully, Miss Shiza said, purposefully pursue their friend's man, BD or whatever, baby daddy or whatever. I'm just saying, of course, not all, but many. Yeah, I would like to know a deeper motive behind that. It's either motive or what causes this outside of their just being outright evil, right? If someone is being outrightly evil, we need to cut them off, destroyed. But I am assuming that most people are not being outrightly evil. A lot of them are being wicked. That wickedness is coming from a place of weakness, right? It's just a lot of these people would have said years before, I will never do that. That's why, again, right and wrong obsession is a thing to study that we'll continue to talk about, right? So I'm curious, what is it that will make this other group of people that would do this kind of things, not the one that just want to be evil, right? The one that wants to be evil, you should do only one thing with them. Destroy them, absolutely. Destroy them with everything you got, because they're poison. They're poisonous. You don't try to talk them into being good. They're not good. They're evil, right? But the ones that are coming, that this wicked behavior that's coming from a place of weakness, that could be any one of your children, your sister, your brother, right? What is it? What kind of gap? What kind of void are they trying to fill? Right? I'm just curious. I want to know, Shout out to Peggy. Welcome, Peggy. Good to see you again. Liz. Shout out to Liz. D-Lo says she probably dodged a man. Any man who flip-flops. These are the issues, right? Any man who flip-flops and is able to be snatched by your friend is not a good man. It could also be that some people are better at this game than you. That woman who will outrightly go after your man and take him from you for whatever reason, he's pressed some button, right? Right? Or like, why are you doing this? Are you trying to exonerate the man? No, I told you earlier, he will collect. Listen, you're not wrong, right? But there's a lot of quote-unquote good people end up in this situation. When we just, people with this kind of behavior, if we just go straight for these are bad people, it ends the conversation. There's nothing else to say. If a person is bad person, they are bad. You need to cast them away. Condemned. But if there's some reason they can still attract normal good people, What is good about them? What is so good about them that you can't find in a healthy way? We need to have that part of the conversation as well. What am I trying to say? The idea of just certain behavior, no, let's just box this as a bad person. I don't know. I'm like, that ends the conversation. And I know that you don't want to end the conversation. I know that you're not ready to end the conversation. So clearly, there's something that we're not saying. And I'm curious. I want to know what that is. I can't even think right now. Other days, I probably can get to it if I'm talking by myself. But I'm engaged with you in the chat right now. Right? There's bad behaviors all around us. All around us. People feel wrong. They just do the wrong thing. And you still want to be engaged with them as a brother, as a sister, as a family, as a girlfriend, as a boyfriend, as a wife, as a husband. Why? What is the little thing that's left about them that's so good that you can't cut them off? Cut them off. Let them go. Whatever that good thing is, we need to talk about that. We need to essentially stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
I'm just asking. Maybe we'll get to it, right? Let's say, yes, you will collect. How you get a man is how you lose. Yep. We know these things are given, right? Even if you don't lose that way, again, this foundation is just bad. It's just bad, you know. Foundation has been tampered with, particularly. It might even look good on the surface, but if you want to make sure that you have a clean, decent foundation, you met a person, there's no somebody that's your best friend that you have to do shalaye to explain that that's not your. If you have to shalaye that was never your friend, you've tampered with the foundation. But what if that happens to be my soulmate? I know. What if? Yeah, what if that happens to... Let me ask the question back. What if that happens to be your soulmate? Eh? What be juju be that?
Not be juju be that.
Yeah, what if that happens to be your soulmate? It doesn't exonerate you. It doesn't make you escape the consequences of having bad foundation. You go collect big time. It's not gonna work.
You collect woto.
You know, but you might say, but every marriage you collect anyway. Okay, maybe you're right. I'm just saying, why would you want to go into a situation like that? If we already know everybody is going to have some dramatic crisis that will happen at some point, why would you want to hide on top of it, right? If you can avoid it, why not avoid it? I'm just asking, you know. Just saying, you know. The foundation might be, okay, we already read that. Chi said traitor. But big traitor. Hey, Temiti, good to see you. Temiti, how are you? She said, hello, everyone. Been watching in the background. It's late here. You watch. I know. True. It trickles down when it's shaky and not evolving is one of the lapses. Yep. I think she was saying evolving in terms of everyone will evolve anyway. Like people, you know, it's just part of growth, right? But she said soulmate called soulmate knee. Yeah. What if that's your soulmate? Yeah, you're right. What if that's your heaven wife? What is that? The spiritual wife? What if that's your spiritual wife? I guess you have to deal with that for the rest of your life. Because that's the answer to the question. If that's your spiritual wife, I guess that means it's unavoidable. You're saying that means it's unavoidable. You just have to be with this person, right? But that foundation, listen, it's like saying, what if that house was meant to be? That house that we're building right now. What if it was meant to be? You're right, it was meant to be. That's why it became a house. But if that foundation has been tampered with, hey, you might collect me, I'm telling you. Yep. There's no way around it. That's what it is. And like I'm telling you, you say, oh, but everyone's going to collect. No, your own level of collect will go to next level. Just because you chose to be stupid in the beginning, deliberately, okay? I know where all the excuses will come from. I get it. anybody, you can't snatch your husband, that's not what to snatch. Okay, it's the man's fault. It's like, no. It's his fault, yes. If he's moving mad like that, right? He's moving mad like that. And you chose to get with him. Why? Because he's treating you special. Let's see what she said. She said quite a few things. Wait, what time is it? Wow. This is the saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. It comes from friends and loved ones. The point of that statement, let me repeat that, is that you might end up, judgment zone, talking about, you might end up, I want you to be aware that sometimes you will end up hurting your loved ones. Maybe not in this manner, because you've told yourself, I will never be that person. Listen, this one right now is no longer a blind spot for you. You're probably not going to snatch somebody's husband. But in another way, right? Because you cover your face with this stupid, dirty righteousness thing, you're going to end up hurting the people you love. You will. It's just a fact of life. But when you are aware, at least you're able to, like, oh, that wasn't my intentions, right? But if you have this shield over your face that I'm holy, see, I keep doing this, right? I'm holier than thou. People don't typically say like that, but they move like that, right? I just know the way to move, and that's the right way to do. There's a massive blind spot somewhere. That's all I'm trying to say. People are not going to come out of the streets and hurt people. All right. How do we become better people? That's the key. That's the question. Okay. Not how do I avoid being a bad person. Listen, to someone, you're probably a bad person. Why? Because, something little you didn't realize was a big deal, but they were upset. They got upset. You didn't even realize you were offending somebody, right? But they took an offense to it. In their eyes, again, emotional intelligence, think about it now for a second. In their eyes, how do they see you? Potentially, what's the magnitude to how they see you? Depends on their outlook on life. That little thing you thought was a little thing can just be a big deal to that person. The question that we need to be asking ourselves more and more is, how do I become a better person? Not how do I avoid being a bad person. That question is defeated every single time. How do I avoid being a bad person? That person is just bad. I don't want to be bad like them. That question is defeated dead on arrival. How do you become a better you is even a better question. Because you don't want to be competing with other people in their own lane. Anyway, so that statement is pretty profound, but we never think about it. We just think, we've said it before, but we don't think about it. We think of it as, ile la sheniwa. Like all your enemies are in your household, it must be your mother. That's how Nigerians especially think of that statement. It must be, because that prophet said it's the mother, it must be the mother. That's how Nigerians think of it. And all you have to tell somebody in Nigeria, a typical religious person, is that it's their mother's fault why they are not progressing. They believe it. It's so sad, but so many people, their mental health is tampered with for the rest of their lives when they hear something like that. So, am I lying? Am I lying? I'm not lying now. You know I'm not lying. Better to have an enemy who slaps you in the face than a friend who stabs you in the back. Then, you see, that's unrealistic expectations. Why? So you can dodge the slap? A friend that constantly wants what her friends have. Listen, this is extreme behavior. It's completely bad. No one should be outrightly running after what's not theirs, right? But I'm telling you, it's usually a situation where somebody felt like we weren't really friends anyway. Now the next level is like, we were kind of friends, but not really. Either way, you go collect. Okay? This terrible foundation. If that person is an associate in any way, even distant associate, why? This is lack of abundance mindset. Even just the lack of abundance mindset is enough to destroy your happiness for the rest of your life. How much more you're moving mad in that direction. This isn't the first time she'd do this, but will definitely be the last. Everyone, I am totally in a good space. Just putting it out there. Well, it's been 2019. No, she's not in a good space. She's capping. She's capping big time. She's not in a good space. No one in a good space is going to the internet to go and cast something that happened in 2019. Cap.
Stop the cap.
Listen, people telling themselves this type of terrible stories everywhere. You can look everywhere. Please help me hit that like button. Thank you. And share. I need you guys to be sharing. Okay? I can see that the same you that you keep coming back, which I appreciate. I see you guys, but we want to grow. So help us share. Help us share. Share by email, share by anything. Just hit on the share button and share to your favorite social media platforms. Thank you. I appreciate that. Everyone, I am totally in a good space. Just putting it out there. Your friend could be your worst enemy. Thanks for the love. Yeah, Cap. But oh well. This was the big one here. So the friend, the snatcher, she didn't respond on the internet, by the way. The response on the internet was the selfie picture that you saw earlier. But she responded, she took a screenshot of a message that was sent to her personally and she put it out there. And I think we should read it. Don't you think? Would you like to know if she's remorseful, right? This wicked soul who went after her husband's, her friend's baby daddy, right? Do you think she was remorseful? All right, so now people being remorseful is a function of a healthy person, okay? There's a good chance she's not, okay? So, in case you have unrealistic expectations, lower it all the way, okay? People can do the wrong thing, and when there's monetary spirits involved, let's say you try to drag them publicly, right? When that happens, they take their madness to another level. They become like, oh, so that's what you're going to do? I'm going to do worse. That's especially people that are stuck in their feminine energy. Not necessarily females. Men do this when they get stuck in their feminine energy. Okay? It's like, it's chaotic. It's like, oh, you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back. Think of it as hurt people, right? So it takes a lot for a person to say, you know what, you hurt me, you drag me in public. I'm just going to come out with my full chest and say, I didn't mean it like that. No, I didn't know you think of me as a friend like that. You know, you're thinking ideally somebody will come one day and say, yeah, we weren't really friends. No. That's not how this works. The way this works is that the madness goes to another level because emotions are involved. Okay? But let me read it. She says, allegedly, the snatcher says, the sooner you come to terms with the fact that we were never friends. What did I say? Oh God. Oh Barry.
Oh, beauty.
But let me keep reading. The sooner you come to terms with the fact that we were never friends, the better for you. Okay? Now, men, even when men do something maybe seemingly similar to this, maybe get with somebody's ex or something like that, they don't come out with a full chest like this because they know that the repercussion can be great. All right? They typically don't do that. Okay? So, let me see this thing here. Okay. The sooner you come to terms with the fact that you were never friends, the better for you. This friend narrative, she started to disclaim the fact that they were never friends. The same Portia and Feline story. Yeah. This friend narrative that you keep pulling is getting worn out. You're beneath my level of people I'd never regard as a friend because you are dumb and you act like an illiterate with nothing to look. Okay, let me slow down. I said something just now that is not absolutely true. Okay. As a matter of fact, Yomi Gold some few weeks ago was allegedly on the internet saying, "So do ya win or not? Do ya win any?" It's crazy. Listen, I told you, people that are stuck in their feminine energy. So it's not just women, okay? When people get caught, it was being dragged on the internet, and decided he wanted to go. But then guess what screenshot we saw right after that? He was basically telling everybody on Instagram with a screenshot and said, my life is being threatened. So men know, because what? Because people were saying they were going to send goons to him and stuff like that, right? So men know that they really don't, generally they know that they should move very carefully when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? Because again, what did I say about bad people? They should be destroyed completely. You don't leave anything left. You destroy them. Okay? So men innately know that. But women, it's a different story. I keep saying we're different, right? But this is also going to destroy a person emotionally, right? So let me keep reading. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. The bad behaviors is bad behaviors everywhere. Okay, I'll share with you what the main lesson is after we're done with the story. But let me keep going. She said, "You're dumb and you're dumb and you act like an illiterate with nothing to lose. While you're busy putting me on blast, don't forget to mention the fact that you were the fake friend all along. Listen, even if it was fake friend, don't do that. But she was always a fake friend, but the guy liked me and I like, don't do that. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. All right? You will hurt yourself. Nothing you've done till this day will face me because you and I both know how much you never liked me from day one. Your fake friendship towards me, I blocked a very long time ago. You're constantly talking about me to your ex. And the constant nagging about me behind my back was what made him notice me in the first place. Listen, because somebody notices you, right, doesn't make it a good foundation. Because you are feeling, it's a feeling, right? I feel you're feeling validated because you were chosen, you were picked. I collect. It's a bad idea. It's just a bad idea. This can happen on either side. If that person was some kind of distant associate, it's better to build your foundation on a clean slate. Listen, this is actually true even for a marriage that broke down, right? If you are in a situation that's toxic and just bad, your marriage is in a bad place, the best way is to build a brand new foundation from scratch. Don't try to fix things half-assed. Don't try to fix one little issue and then go back. Listen, you need to break it all the way down to the ground, then build a fresh foundation. That's the only way it's going to work. Well, that's the only way you're going to enjoy life and love. Because again, you can't have the foundation tampered with. You just can't. Even if you mean well, even if the husband is the bad person, listen, like I already said earlier, anybody can claim anybody to be bad. Okay? Anybody can claim anybody to be bad. All of that is coming from filtered opinions, blind spots, stuff like that. But in terms of you yourself, can you look over your shoulder 5 years from now and say, she was mine, she's mine? There's no shady play. There's nothing that looks shady to anybody. There's no stories. There's no, right? Can you claim that? Anyway, let me keep reading. You don't have to analyze it, right? You are toxic, she says. The snatcher said. You constantly talking about me to your ex, and the constant nagging about me behind my back was what made him notice me in the first place. Let me make sure I'm speaking to my people. All right. Hit that like button on your way in. Hit that like button. Let's see. You're toxic, bitter little girl, and you need to heal. The kettle calling the pot, Abi, how do you say it? Is it the kettle calling the stove black? How do you say that? Somebody help me in the chat. This was all you're doing, and between you and the God you serve, you know this. You're not my friend. Never was my friend. Okay, so what's that saying? Since you were never my friend, I'm going to hurt you anyway. You were a fake friend, I'm going to hurt you anyway. I mean, That's what this rhetoric is painting right now. Unless she's going to tell us something new. Let's see. You're nothing but a fan. Hey, by the way, just reading this doesn't mean she deliberately went and did this. She did, right? It's a choice, but there's more to it, is all I'm trying to say. Okay? There are way too many women that do stuff like this, but they swore like 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago, and they meant it, that it will never be them. Okay? And I want us to pay attention. It's very important to pay attention to that. I could sit here and become another talking head on a YouTube channel and say, it's just wrong for her to do that. She's a husband snatcher. I can do that if you want. No, I can't. That's not me. Okay, I can't. I'm always asking, there's more questions to the surface level. This is evil behavior. What else can we learn from this? I'm always asking. I'm always going to keep asking that. Okay? You're nothing but a fan who was trying to get close to me. You've been a silent hater since day one, and you're only pressed because he chose me. He chose me. He picked me. Wahala. Ladies, let's be honest. How many of you, it's not even a matter of boyfriend, girlfriend, kerewa. It's just a conversation. You're having a conversation and you're quick to be happy just because somebody is supporting your talking point. Like that, you're just ready, like, he supports me, like, right? And you're not open to critically looking at issues with this person ever again. And you keep doing that until one day you end up in the poto. You realize that all of that was fake. Listen, this behavior can show up at any level. It's not only when somebody snatched somebody's husband. It can show up in just interaction. You're so happy that somebody else has been thrown under the bus, and you're happy because you were being picked at work. I'm telling you, emotions no be your mate. You don't want to be looking at these issues from just surface level. Okay? The behavior itself is deep. It's deep inside. Right? Naturally, you're okay with somebody else being thrown under the bus. You just kind of act like you didn't see it. In fact, you're happy. Sometimes secretly. Secrets. I'm not really happy. I wish I loved, but there's nothing I could do. How many of... Let's stop the cap all the way together, right? Even men. Yes, men do this too. Oh, you didn't know men could be pick-me's? You can't stand the fact that the one person you tried to tear down so much in front of him and to others, especially your so-called friends, is the same person he chose to be with. That's the real tea. How do you snatch somebody's baby daddy and then you continue? It's like there's no remorse. Anyway, let your minions know exactly how you are and stop lying to make yourself look good. She is doing that. Listen, when you jump on the internet and you start throwing people down the bus, even if you're right, you're trying to look good. That's all it is. Not all it is, but that's part of it. Okay? You already made yourself look stupid by putting your business out there for everyone to see. And quit with the fake account is screaming desperate and mental. I say, I'm good, y'all. I'm good. I just want to put it out there. No, stop the cap. Or hurt. It pain. It's sad. I feel for her. I can understand. When you chop breakfast, hot one like this, yeah. You get to a point, you're like, you know what? I need to throw everybody under the bus too, right? Well, hurt people, right? It goes in cycles. The whole thing is just connected together. The question is that you're watching me right now, you're going to break the cycle. This type of behavior is showing up somehow, some way in your life. I know, I get it. You're never going to snatch somebody's husband. I get it. But it's showing up somehow, some way. Right? It's showing up. Are you going to break the cycle so that you can teach your children something else? Right? Right? Listen, all this behavior is not just showing up like this. It's just that, again, like I keep saying, when you do a little worry, the next person is going to take the worry to the next level. If you don't check it. Starting with self. Right? It's screaming desperate and mental. Whatever narrative suits you, please run with, as long as it makes you feel better. We are happy. Watch this part. I think they circle for a reason. We are happy and very much in love.
Child, there is God. Oh.
Listen, I'm coming to the chat. Hit that like button. I'm coming to the chat. Let me just finish reading this. We are happy and very much in love. So thank you for introducing me to my men. Can you imagine what that felt like to her? And she said she's just good. Wow. This is what she said next. She said, what God cannot do does not exist. There's another thing I've been seeing somewhere. Some people say, what is it? Small girl, big God. Voila. Stop texting my men. And for the love of God, stop harassing us. Focus on your blessing and use this energy in making sure you raise a beautiful girl that doesn't end up being like you. What does she mean being like you? A baby mother? A woman who is desperate for a man who already left her? Running to the internet to throw some associate under the bus who has gotten with the ex now and claiming that was my friend. Listen, when you get on the internet, you're still going to look stupid and sound stupid in one shape, form, or the other. Okay? In one breath, we want to empathize with you that, that's so sad. How can a friend take another person's friend? On the other end, you're like, why are you calling a person who would do that to you a friend? Ever, even if it's in the past. You shouldn't be so proud of calling this person your friend in the past. You see, it's just bad. Focus on your blessing and use this energy and make it okay. Also, you need to get your act together and stop acting wild every time you know we're together. You look dumb. While you're stalking my page, remember she sent this message privately. She's not the only thing she posted on the internet so far that I've seen is this selfie with a guy. Okay? So this was a private message she sent to quote unquote the fake friend. The fake friend thinks, no, you were my friend. In fact, you flew in for my baby shower. Ladies, do you realize that sometimes a person that might take your space can become friends just because they're comfortable being around the guy? I know you didn't see that coming, right? Listen, I'm telling you, don't put yourself on that pedestal. That's all I've been trying to say here. As human beings, don't put yourself on that pedestal. Calm down. You will fall every time. It's just self-awareness. Remember, we started this with don't judge. Avoid judgmental behavior. Avoid being inclined to always be judgmental. You will fall off that pedestal every time. Just dig in deeper and analyze what we're talking about a little bit deeper. You will see that you got flaws in the equation. All I'm asking is just be aware. That's it. You don't need to be perfect. No one is perfect anyway. Just be aware. If you're a little bit more aware, you'll probably be less people's enemy. Okay? Probably. Okay? Because anyway, while you're stalking my page, I hope you're taking notes on how to act. I'm not your mate. I'm not your friend. You're not on my level, which you wish you were. So every time you ask yourself, why Adeola, remember that. Listen, let's leave it alone. I want to come to the chats. Because, again, any of these issues are deeper. They're deeper than what you may think or what might seem like let me see here. One second here. Interesting. All right. Let's come to the chat. Hit that like button. I want to engage you all now. These issues, man. Who am I show? She says spiritual wife is bad. Abby, people just throw that into the conversation like it's something. What if it's spiritual wife? What if it's soulmate? Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, okay, spiritual wife is spiritual. They stay in the spiritual realms. Like, what do you want me to give? What answer do you want me to give you about spiritual wife? Isn't that why it's spiritual? It's in the spiritual realm. That has nothing to do with what we're doing. Oh, somebody, yeah, he does. Then they'll be disconnected and they'll BS. Okay, how about this? We all have spiritual and spiritual wife and husband. Okay, are you happy now? Yes, I'm talking it down. We need to stay focused on our emotional intelligence. Stay focused. We're talking a different. You need to be intentional about emotional intelligence. You need to be intentional about that. Okay? There's no need to bring what about physical? What about spiritual? What about mental? No, stay focused. Okay? Stay focused. The one thing that drives all of this is our emotions. We need to stay focused. Okay? That's the single most important part that everybody wants to discount. Why do people are more inclined? Why are they more inclined in the direction of being judgmental? Because they're trying to make 1 + 1 = 2. You did something bad. It must be because you're a bad person. There's a bad outcome. It must be that there are 2 bad people involved, and then they end up in court of divorce. That's not how life works. That's the best way to be delusional about life, basically. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Lala says, and the friend's excuse was that the man told her she talked back. Yeah, the excuse is terrible. There's no way it's adding up. It's not adding up. I had a friend. We don't know the real issues between these people. The only thing I can tell you is that both ladies have low self-esteem. They have low sense of self because we haven't heard from the guy, right? The value they attach to themselves is that guy. That's all we can conclude in all of this. That baby daddy is the value that they have. Because once you get to a place you say, I'm valuable by myself, right? Even if a guy is moving mad, there's a certain way that you move. There's a certain way you move. There's a good chance you're not going to be throwing yourself under the bus on the internet. Okay? And the epistle that she typed, the husband snatcher, that speaks volume. She's sick too. She's just as sick. Right? Just off of that alone, I had a friend who talked bad about me behind my back, but I did not date her soon to be ex-husband. Well, thank God though. Thank God. The question is that if that ex-husband happened to, for some circumstantial reasons, became your work husband, you just happen to be in the same space all the time, and you grew fond of him, right? Is it possible? I bet you're going to say no. I agree with you. I'm just saying. I'm just thinking wild, right? Lala says, I just realized her character and she's no longer my friend. Oh, okay. That the friend that was talking bad about you. Yeah. It's very tricky. When people show you who they are, believe them. But what if it's just, listen, that's like asking me, what if there's a spiritual wife? Believe them. Leave the rest of the what ifs alone, okay? There's options. You have options. If you don't have options, get some options. Okay? Your self-esteem, your self-worth is everything. People will mimic how you see yourself. They will treat you accordingly how you treat yourself, right? If this guy starts treating the husband snatcher badly in the future, she will not be like, oh, you treat me some type of way, you're a bad man. I shouldn't have listened. No, that's true, but he's also mimicking how you treat yourself. It's literally copying the way you treat yourself. If you will go so low that, yeah, it was fake friends, and that's all you can see in this issue, it's going to like, he will even say the same thing. He'll say, I should have known. I was stupid for going with you when my baby mama was warning me. All of this is just bad. It's just bad. Go to work. Shout out to Ice. Oh, late. I still need to go for mass now to get. Bale. Good to see you. Let's see. God first, no problem. We'll catch up. All right. Let's see. Ice says narcissistic friends. Similarly says I can see pride in that response. It is pride everywhere. There's pride in both sides. There's pride on both sides, but I think it's more so unrealistic expectations on the side of the snatchee, the baby mama. But the rest of us, we have a lot of unrealistic expectations like that. And it's not like you did it deliberately. It's just, hey, you expect people to be good. You know, if you're a good person, if you consider yourself a good person, it's only natural that you expect people to behave a certain type of way, right? But again, these unrealistic expectations fall on their face all the time. In terms of pride, some pride is in that as well, you know. But they tend to go hand in hand, you know. Wahala. The baby daddy knew what he was doing, and he also knew the friend liked him. She knew, like, again, she flew in, they were already dating, she flew in for the baby shower. What else do we need to know? Right? She flew in for the baby shower when they were already dating, she said. I just have a feeling like these two people are of the same kind. It just so happened to, the story happened. If there was a marriage, then I'll be like, okay, that's a clear line. But there's a good chance they were competing for that guy from day one. Just because she got pregnant first and there was a baby shower first does not mean anything. Okay? It doesn't tell us anything, right? So he will go to our friend eventually too. Yep. He's going to keep moving that way. Maybe not friend next to you. The same behavior will show in a different way. But he's who he is. That's his shadow. It follows him everywhere he goes. He is that guy, right? It's that guy. They exist. Let's consider him evil. Now, you that you're not evil, that you're here right now, how are you going to make sure you don't attract this kind of situation? I don't know if he's evil. I don't know that. I'm just saying, let's just assume he's the evil person in this equation. Is manipulating two friends against each other. The question I'm going to ask you is that every single one of you here, you can claim that you know someone that was fake to you and you know they talk behind your back, right? And a lot of times you find out after they've done it, so you can see it coming. Let's say you find yourself in that situation. What question are you going to ask yourself, right? How are you going to avoid attracting this type of situation, right? How? Well, if you were the snatcher, it doesn't matter if it's just a distance associate. Don't do it. If you were the snatchee, what would you do? There's a lot. I don't know. She didn't tell us anything. The only thing she told us is that she's holy and innocent in all of this. That's the only thing she's told us. Right? She's baby mother. Did she say she was married? Did I miss that? Baby mother. Not boyfriend. Okay, I guess they were boyfriend, girlfriend. She said my man. What does that mean? Talking stage? Which one is it, right? There's so many angles to this, right? The key thing is that the only thing you can control is yourself. Okay? Number one, if it's an associate, don't get comfortable. It's terrible foundation. It will make your life worse later on. If you are the snatchee, the internet, they're not your friend. No one is on this social media as your friend. They're just not. And you can't lie to us that you're good. No, you're not. You need to engage wise counsel. Right? As I said, look, the guy try his luck out of curiosity. What baby mama told him, and she fell for him by revealing to him stuff she and baby mama kept secret. How many of your friends are talking to your husband, your baby father, on the side? They just talk on the side. Random text message, they just talk on the side. How many of you? A lot of us, we live in danger zone. I'm being honest with you. I'm just telling you straight up, okay? Danger zone. It's not really that, but it's just like right there. That line can be easily crossed. Telling you. Till I say she will end up in McDonald's. Maybe. Maybe. No, for sure. Every single party here, we already know that the baby mother is already in McDonald's, right? But that lady, the snatcher,
You will end up in McDonald's.
that's a fact. Okay? Alright, so no. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. And they look like normal good people when you see them. They're not IG models. No, they're not typically bad behavior that you can avoid. sometimes it's someone that's it's just that little gap. That's yeah. There's a crack in the wall somewhere, and it just so happened your ex validated, made them feel validated. Okay? That's the part we don't like to talk about. We like to say, like it's like karma is coming. Listen, I think karma is coming, but not the way you think. You might not be able to keep track of it like that. I want you to stay focused on yourself always. I want you to stay focused on how you move, because you might not be here. You might not be present to see the karma. What's the point? It's useless for you. Stay focused on yourself. She'll probably need more healing if he marries her and does the same. Yeah, everybody's going to be in trouble with this. The kettle calling the pot black. Thank you, Jari. Shola, shout out to Shola. Yeah. Yeah, she's a model. She said she's a model. True Brioka. Humans are okay with people down. Yeah. It's not you snatching husband now, but are you so listen, you need to be competitive, but are you so competitive that it's like a little part of you just want to destroy another person? Like just like you can't stand her. You don't even know why you can't stand him. You ever had that feeling before? No, that's terrible. I've never had that feeling. No, I've never. Me either. I've never felt.
Stop the cap.
I've never felt like that before. That's the real her. Ends the snatching. She is mean or wanting sympathy. She go collect. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, she go collect. But the fact that she came out and told the story, it's like there's just so much more there that we don't know. Of course, she's telling her own side of the story. She has the right to do that. Are you happy now? She has the right to tell that side of the story. But she go collect too. She done collect already. Look at that. If somebody sent you that, if somebody took your baby father, let's say that's a true story, right? I'm going to assume it's a true story. It's a true story, right? And they took your baby father and they sent you that message. Are you sleeping well at night? Let's be honest. Are you sleeping well like a baby at night? Her choice of words indicate that she's guilty of all accusations. Not really. Not to me. Those words didn't tell me anything except that they were never really friends. Those words told me that they were fake friends to each other. They were cordial with each other. They were doing fake smile to each other. Yeah, that's what that story told me. Okay? That's all it told me. And it told me that she's ready to destroy her too, emotionally, not to the public, directly. She sent that message direct to her. That's the only thing that story told me, right? It told me. Now, the part that it was actually who did what, we didn't see anything in there that says who was with who first, or that somebody was actually snatched, right? She did say your ex, but she also said that wasn't my friend. And I already said that in the beginning. When people are stuck with right and wrong, I didn't do anything wrong. We were never friends. They too, they will collect. Their own is worse. Tabegiloju, igimaruwe, right? They too, they will collect now, right? Because they think that's all it needs to be. I'm picked, and that's all that matters, right? What about the person that's choosing you? What is their track record, literally, in recent times, right? So our issue is not just that she snatched husband. That's the part that we don't even know if it's true or not. We know that she got with him after they broke up. We don't know if she snatched it or not. Again, on the surface, right and wrong, she can claim I didn't do anything wrong. That doesn't mean she's not going to. I want you to pay attention to what's important here. What's important here is not that she snatched husband. Because from their words, it's not confirmed. But what's important here is the foundation. The foundation that she's building a relationship on. That's much more important than she's a husband snatcher. Listen, when you focus on some of the wrong, we tend to do that. When you focus on the wrong stuff, right? Your blind spot is just that big, right? And then you end up in this kind of situation in a different way, and you're like, oh, I didn't know how I got here. I lost myself. You lost yourself because you never paid attention to what's more important. Right? She can be guilty. I don't think it's important. I don't think it's important that she's actually she's like evil and she went out. I don't think it's important. I think the issue here is the blind spots. Like, this is the obvious part. The obvious part is that, oh, she snatched husband. What else is not obvious here is what I'm trying to get at. We women are easily emotionally manipulated. We are so emotional that all senses are out the window. That's true a lot. That's true a lot. Because again, feelings will be our mates. When somebody make you feel safe and secure, sometimes you're just willing to break any rule. Sometimes you just, you never heard that before? You heard that from people that you value, they're your close friends. They would just say Ayin. That means it happens. You should just say it is what it is. Oh, Nigerians will end it with it is well. No, it is not. That's bad behavior. It is not well. Let's dig in deeper. Why is this happening? What is going on here? Right? Why are two quote-unquote friends disconnected so much that one person felt it was fake friends and the other person was that was my friend? Where's the rest of the story? We'll probably never find out. Right? There's more to it, right? What kind of friendships are you keeping? Do you keep people around even though you know you're not really cool with them? If they end up stepping on your boundaries or encroaching on your territories, will you feel some type of way later on? Even if it's not a husband, it could be, why are they smiling at my husband like that? I don't like her like that. Do you have a friend that you feel like I don't like her like that? I don't. She's cool, but we just called you. I don't like her like that. Are you comfortable with a bunch of people around you like that? Why are you comfortable with a bunch of people around you like that? Does it have anything to do with the fact that you're more comfortable with people that you look down to? This is deeper, right? You gotta go a little deeper. At the surface, yes, she's a husband snatcher. What else? What else is going on here? What else is going on here? She collect the man with her full chest. People will do something like this, and then because they feel like they're losing, because they feel like you see on reality show, TV shows all the time, because they feel like they're looking stupid, they will do worse stuff. They will like, F it. I'm not gonna explain anything to anybody. I'm gonna call it full chest. What about that part? You never heard that before? We don't know anything in this story except that these two people, they were faking it for each other for a long time. Okay? We don't know. But we know some things. We're still going to talk about it. Shola, not all women, my friend, my close friends, and I have always been focused, not easily manipulated. Yvette, I'm going to call the cap on that.
Stop the cap.
I'm calling cap on that. We've all been manipulated. Not even just women. Okay? Just because you're manipulated doesn't mean you're not focused. It just means somebody was able to tap into something you value. Somebody was able to tap into your emotions in a way that you value. And it's temporary. Eventually you find out that, oh man, it's happened to the best of us. We got to get ourselves off of the pedestal. We have to. This is the pedestal I want you to get on. Awareness. Remember, you're a human like the rest of us. That's all we come here to do. All the conversations we're having here is around that. Okay? All the conversation we're here is around that. Get off that pedestal. Okay? For every time you're on this side, more inclined in I'm intentional, there's a big old blind spot over here where you are doing it to people, right? You didn't mean to do it to people, you're just being intentional. But now they see you are so rigid. They don't feel free around you. They feel like you're so rigid, like there's blind spots everywhere. You're a human being like the rest of us. That's all I need us to pay attention to. It puts you in a place where you ask more questions. Like, what else? What else? What more? What can I? There's something you're curious in terms of how you can serve more, right? You're curious. You become more curious how you can serve more, as opposed to the opposite of it, which is no, there's nothing else there is to know. Or the extreme other end of it is like, oh, I'm just flying around like butterfly. I don't care about anybody else. All of it, it goes out to one thing. We're human beings. We have basic human needs. Okay. We need emotional connection. We want to feel significant. We want to feel secure. We want to feel safe. We want varieties. We want growth, right? We want these things, right? Those gaps. If those gaps are not filled, it will become a struggle at some point, right? How do we say that? We normally say nobody is perfect, right? It's true. It's true, right? There's no one moment that's perfect. You can be happy. Tomorrow is a different ball game. Sometimes you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be. You feel a little depressed. You feel like things are not moving fast enough, or you feel like, no, there's too much going on. I need to calm down. I need to rest. Life, no balance. Life, no balance for all of us, right? What's the solution, Ola? You're just saying all these things. Be aware. Be self-awareness. Self-awareness is key. Okay, remain a lifelong student of emotional intelligence. You will never know it all. None of us will ever know it all. That's what we need to keep asking questions. Okay, you ladies are focused. I hope most will. I have so much to teach my little girl. Yeah, first thing I commented online, 3 of them are okay. The guy is a Yahoo, obvious. A gentleman won't do this. Oh, it's a Yahoo guy. Shall I take time with her, read to her, and with her every day? Okay. Good stuff, good stuff. When I see grown women, even older than me, make irrational choices without giving it a second thought, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But I'm hoping that we can reduce it just by, again, asking further questions, I swear Snatcher told baby daddy a very incriminating secret that helped his bad behavior thrive faster. No, it's just a guy who didn't care about her in the first place. He never cared about her. He didn't care about her anymore, at least, right? But he's also a guy who doesn't care about moving in a honorable way, right? For me, I wouldn't do that. I just like, I've always been that guy too, and to a fault. Like, you, whatever you are, you do to a fault, right? I've been that guy. Like, listen, I don't want anything to tamper with. I don't like when I acquire something. Either I acquired my relationship, or money, or good things, or a house, or I want to be able to say I did that. I want to say with my full chest, I earned it. I earned it. Not moving around corners and stuff like that. I earned it. And there's nothing I've ever acquired that I didn't earn. Meaning, like, he took something out of me. I had to sacrifice stuff for it, right? So I guess he might want to claim that he earned the husband snatcher too, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird. All of that is weird, All of that is weird. There's no generally speaking, some people can fall into it. Like, again, I keep telling you, there's a part of this equation that is about some people are better at this game than the other. I need to say that. Okay? Some people are just better at this game in terms of being able to take over your personal person's mind, and then suddenly they are being chosen. It's still bad, but it happens, right? So we need to say that. We can't just turn around and say, the woman was just bad. Like, was she bad or good at this game? Right? At this point right now, is she just trying to shame her in that text message? Like, screw you. You can remember the part where she said, you can tell yourself the narrative you want to tell yourself. She wasn't saying anything at all. The only thing she was saying is that she also moves similar. She's ready to abuse you with words, verbal abuse, if you are disrespectful. And that's what she did, right? So it came off as, yeah, I did it, now what? Of course it will come off that way because she's actively trying to hurt her. We still didn't get any kind of anything we can claim to be truth from that. Okay? Yeah, Lala says true. They can look innocent. Anybody that comes to the internet to tell their story will always they paint that picture like they're innocent. It's normal human behavior. Okay, they didn't do anything wrong. It's just if you were telling your story to me right now, you felt like somebody wronged you. I have expectations that you will. My expectation is that you will tell me the story that makes you look good, not necessarily deliberately, because you feel hurt. You feel like you tried your best to do the right thing, but the other person just wants to be evil. That's my expectation. Now, if I expected that you're telling me the truth, that's unrealistic expectations. Because you telling me a story that makes you look good doesn't have to be deliberate. It doesn't have to be the truth. It just has to be your experience. It's deeper than truth, false, black, white, right, wrong. It's always deeper than that. This is human experience. What you're seeing is not what I'm seeing. Okay? It's not. Can I be honest with you? I wouldn't come back here and watch me every day, 5 days a week. Because what I'm seeing, I can't be entertained by it as a person. But you're seeing something, maybe you're getting enlightened, educated, and you like what you see. We're having two different experiences. My experience is that I am pouring out into you my analysis of these issues on the streets of relationships, right? Your experience is that you're listening to a podcast, you're listening to whatever it is, from every person to person. There's 36 of us here right now. It's different what you're experiencing. So if you now go to somebody else and narrate what happened here in the last 2 hours, for every individual, it will sound different. So my expectations when somebody jumps on the internet to tell us somebody snatched their husband is that they are telling their own version of the truth. They're telling their own experience. It's not necessarily the truth, right? The same thing goes for the one who take the selfie. Let me pepper her. Let me pepper them her, right? Same thing goes, right? But that's all we need to be able to extract some lessons, right? What's the lesson? Even if it's remotely an associate, you don't want to start a relationship that you plan to be a long time on that foundation. You will collect. It doesn't matter if you're right. It's just bad. That will continue to haunt you. Listen, it's such a delicate thing that you don't want to be in that space where there's doubts all over the place. You're doubting yourself. The other person is doubting you. This man who you basically just you basically just threw your friend under the bus and took me from her. I don't know if you would do this to me. I have to look over my shoulder from time to time. If I see anything that looks like betrayal, I'm like, oh, that's who she was all along. Like, even if I'm just an innocent man, I don't get to decide to move right like a man. I was snatched because I was a child, right? A part of me is like, you would do that to me. If you did that to you, you might. There might be some events that will make me start to feel like I can't trust you either. You can't trust each other when you have such a foundation. Blessed say question. There's a girl in my church that constantly flirts with my boyfriend, and she's persistent. What's a good way to handle it? And she's very aware he needs to handle it. You need to handle it with him. You need to say, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. And he needs to be in a position where he can understand that. If he doesn't understand that, then there's more to do with that. Because again, if he doesn't understand that, he won't change if you continue to encourage the bad behavior or enable the bad behavior. But you just need to just a conversation and say, this chick is always flirting with you. I'm not comfortable with that. It's how you present it too, right? I'm not comfortable with that. It's how you guys talk, whatever method you guys use to talk, but just have a conversation. Don't be spicy about it. Just like, I want to share something with you, right? It depends on how you normally talk to him. When you're calm, when you're loving, when you're coming from a loving place. I don't know, it makes me feel, it's okay to say it makes me feel insecure, right? And just see how he reacts to that, then you take it from there. Okay, blessed. Hopefully that helps. Lala says, bless, your boyfriend should handle it. And if he doesn't, he likes it. Right? Yeah, I would definitely just deal with your boyfriend. Just express yourself. If he's good for you, he would give you the freedom to express your feelings, right? But again, it's also that's also a function of how you present it. Presentation is everything. All right. Sagaciously, welcome. Lady Navor, welcome. I agree. You don't need to do anything. Your boyfriend is the one who needs to set boundaries with her. Yeah, but it's rubbing her off the wrong way. She doesn't like it. So she needs to do something about that. What she needs to do is express how she feels about that to the boyfriend. He has told her to stop. No, told her to stop. But she's relentless. What else can he do? I need to know specifically what the flirting is at this point. What's the specific flirting? I have some stories, personal stories around this, but I'll leave that for another day. Is she touching his face? Does he have arms around her? Who is perpetuating this behavior? Who is the person making the move? Is she just talking smack and stuff like that? There's something he's doing that's making her feel comfortable to continue to do that. Especially if we're talking about church, there's something he's doing. I need to know what that is, right? To encourage that. See, people don't change unless they are gravitating away from pain or towards pleasure. The reason why people keep doing what they're doing is because they're finding some kind of pleasure, value, relief, right? The reason why they might change is because it's painful. Let's say he cares so much about you and say, why are you doing that? You know that's my girlfriend, right? Let's say he just makes a face like that, right? That would tamper with her self-esteem. She won't do it again. And if he's not comfortable doing that, then we may be gravitating towards what Lala said earlier. If he doesn't, he likes it. All right? But I don't want to go in that direction first. With him, say, hey, I'm not comfortable to see what he does. And you need to allow him to do what he needs to do to stop this. If he doesn't, then again, it's not going to change if he continues to have you. He can have his cake and eat it too. Why won't he continue, right? So you get to decide what you want to do from there, especially if we're talking about boyfriend, girlfriend. If a person does not respect you enough to be able to, like, for me, listen, I've never been perfect. Let me just say it like that, okay? I got better and better over time. Earlier on, right? As earlier on as like the first day I was willing to announce that this my present wife was my girlfriend, everybody knows, okay? Everybody knew, I should say, okay? So even if some girl were used to flirting with me or anything like that, in fact, I can remember one occasion like that. I brought my new girlfriend for the first time to a house party, and this girl that she was always a flirt, right? Just nothing, but she was comfortable with me. I entered, it was her house. I took so there's nothing there, but we went to a house party, and then she jumped on me with her legs wrapped around me like that. And I was like, respectfully, I was like, meet Lola, my girlfriend, right? Just something so simple goes a long way, and it was respect from there, right? So he needs to do something, but it starts with you expressing how you feel, and if he continues, then you need to say, hey, I feel disrespected. I can't move forward until you handle this, and you have to be contained when you say that, okay? And that doesn't have to be a permanent decision. I'm just saying people don't change unless it's painful for them to stay the same way. Hopefully that helps. I agree. You don't need to do anything in your body. He has told her to stop. It's not enough, obviously. He needs to make her feel less than when she does that next. He needs to tamper with her self-esteem, and then she will stop. Yes, women keep such friends. Then you tell her as well to stop. If she doesn't, then report her. No, don't go to her. Tell her to stop. Okay? You need to maintain your self-respect. Okay? Because everyone will mimic your level of self-respect. So you need to be intentional about that. Then report her behavior to the leaders of the church. It will only get worse. You will end up in McDonald's. Let me just play right now, okay? Listen.
You will end up in McDonald's.
Listen, attraction is not our mate. Emotions are not our mate. You will end up pushing over to that other side, Because you will get caught up in your emotions, you will misbehave. If you're too engaged in it already, I can tell. All of that, put that energy into, okay, let me calm down. Let me tell him I feel some type of way. It needs to stop. If it can stop, okay, that's all right. Like, I guess we can't move forward unless that stops. If it's just that bad, okay. But again, I don't know the picture of what we're talking about, so it's hard. But this is across the board. You need to maintain your self-respect. You need to maintain that you are cool, calm, and collected when it comes to public, because if you make him look stupid outside, it will get worse. If you jump straight, go to the leader and go and report what's happening, he's going to feel embarrassed. It will get worse, right? So, yeah. Hopefully that helps. And thanks to Lala for adding some insights to that. Yes, she is. Mean person. Forget the BF snatching. We too manipulate people unknowingly. Yes. Thank you, Eyesight. Abi Osha must set good example. Is what are you talking about? Eyesight. may we be able to discern bad friends because we will surely have them. Yeah, it's default, Default. All right. So that was that story right there. I've got let me see. Let's see. We have 3 short ones to cover here. Some really good ones. I'll be right back. All right, so that story that we just covered, listen, I'm not sure we did justice properly. I'm sure there will be more conversations. Feel free, opinions, all that kind of stuff, so we can dig a little deeper to it. Because again, I think it's deeper than the part that the wickedness aspect of it. It's obviously wicked, but it's deeper than that. So let's continue the conversation if you have any other thing. But let's talk about Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington. How many people know who Denzel Washington is here? How many people know who Denzel Washington? Anybody know who this gentleman is? Everybody know who he is? Let's talk about Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington has a few things to share with us with regards to marriage and first dates. And I want us to go through that. But before we go through that, let me see what Blessed say. Blessed say she's making the moves, touching on him, and other acts of seduction like wearing a lot of revealing clothes. No, yeah, you can't control what other people do. You can only influence them. That's why I said the one thing he needs, if he needs a tip on what to do, he needs to tamper with her self-esteem. There's certain way that you touch me that there's certain face I'll give you, or that you will never do it again. You will hate yourself after it. That's what he needs to do. Okay? But outside of that, you can't control what other people do, like wearing what she wears and stuff like that. No, basically throwing herself on him. You mean physically? Is she landing on the bola by mistake? And it's a lot there, right? She even asked to move in with him at some point. Yeah, your relationship with your boyfriend is not tight yet. You need to distance yourself. It sounds like it's a boyfriend who is not taking you serious yet. And maybe you're moving too faster than him. Okay? But you can't, at the end of the day, you can't control what other people do. You can only influence them. Like right now, you can influence your boyfriend. If he really wants you and he wants to give you that level of respect that you're asking for, you will need to have that self-respect first. Okay? That means you're open to leaving. I'm meaning it. I'm sorry. If you don't feel good about it, why would you stay in it? If you feeling disrespected, why would you stay in it? With respect to understanding that you can't control what other people do. Okay? Let's pay attention to that. And sagacious, they say, ooh, my crush. This guy's Arugbo. Why is that your crush? It's an Arugbo man. It's like 80 years old. What are you talking about? Chiye too. Look at you. You can't even bring a regular brown skin brother. And then you start to all over the place. Look at them. Chai, that's too much. Your crush too, go man. See life. Anyway, let's see what he has to say about marriage, and then we'll talk about it.
Your first date together.
First date experience.
together.
Yeah. She remembers our first date together.
I remember our
because
first
what
date.
happened?
I paid for the ride.
I know you was
I
gonna
paid
say
for
that.
the
You didn't pay
cab
for the
ride.
date though.
I didn't.
What happened
Well,
was
because no.
Go ahead.
When we went to a party, there was nothing to pay for after we got there.
So
She
we
came
took a
with
cab,
receipts.
and I'm paying for the cab ride, but then I'm watching the meter and I'm running out of money. And
He turns to me and says, "I have no money."
Wait, does that sound like struggle love? Does that sound like struggle love so far? Right? Let's keep going. Listen, a lot of people admire Denzel Washington and his wife. I do too. I think so. Have you seen his early days? No, Sergey Schultz, no, I haven't. But anyway, I'm a Denzel Washington hater. I am a RMD hater, right? Who else? Yeah, especially those two. So stop the cap. Anyway, it's does it sound like struggle love so far? Let's go back. Wait, let's go back here. Let's go back. Let's go. This is good. Good stuff.
First date experience.
together. Yeah. She remembers our first date
I
together.
remember our
because
first
what
date.
happened?
I paid for the ride.
I know you was
I
gonna
paid
say
for
that.
the
You didn't pay
cab
for the
ride.
date though.
I didn't.
What happened
Well,
was
Wait. What was that pause about when he said you didn't pay for the date though? Right? What was that? What was that about? Let's keep going. Right. Go back here.
what happened
Well,
was
because no.
Go ahead.
When we went to a party, there was nothing to.
Okay. Ola, you always said never argue. This is not an argument, okay? One of the things you're going to need a lot in marriage, a lot of it is banter, right? Okay, but there's some truth in this. It's banter. Banters are better when there's actually a lot of truth in it, right? Let's keep going.
Pay for after we got there.
She
we
came
took a
with
cab,
receipts.
and I'm paying for the cab ride, but then I'm watching the meter and I'm running out of money. And
He turns to me and says, "I have no money."
I didn't say that.
You turned to me. Oh, I can remember. I see where I am. I was right behind the driver.
Okay, and what happened?
Jesus is
I
Lord.
paid for it.
You paid the whole thing?
Yes.
Fear
And it was
women.
back in the days where the cab drivers had the liveries.
Sounds like Spike was right.
And I've been paying every
Where's the seat?
He's been paying ever since. Ha!
Beauty.
Hey. Leoda. But anyway, listen, there's a lot. If you want to just go ahead and dig up a lot of Denzel clips. Okay. Just dig up a lot of Denzel clips off of TikTok. You will learn a lot about marriage. Okay. Stay away from YouTube gurus and me too. But you know I'm joking about that. Okay. But if you're looking for some really good stuff, a lot of stuff that he's saying, the truth is that when you're young, they're probably young, those kind of things are allowed, right? It's not a big deal, especially if you're having fun, you're feeling. The ultimate of everything is that, gentlemen, a woman needs to feel safe and secure. She will do everything. Of course, we don't want that to keep, because look at what he said. He said, and he's been paying ever since. But it's a joke, right? You get the joke, right? But just be guided when you're thinking about first dates and all this kind of stuff. If you're young enough, hey, listen, you could go to the college dorm, okay, for your dates. You don't have to listen to Instagram where they said you should take them to chow mein, okay? The talking points are trickling down and they're becoming problematic, okay? With that being said, the idea of struggle love is at an emotional level. It's much more important to pay attention to that at emotional level. If you feel like you're forcing something, shout out to Blessed. She said, thank you for your advice, Ola. And thank you. If you feel like you're forcing something and you don't feel safe and secure, that's struggle love, okay? It can show up as minuscule stuff, like moment by moment stuff. It can show up as a whole 3 months chunk out of your 4 months relationship. At that point, you need to stop everything and have a conversation. Start with a conversation, right? Come from a lot. You like this person, so you obviously like them. Say, hey, this kind of thing, you know, it makes me feel some type of way. That's all you have to say. What do you mean? Are you jealous? If I'm jealous, why can't I be jealous? You belong to me. Listen, little banter here and there, little jokey. Don't be too serious, but yes, say what you need to say, the truth. You know, don't be stuck on the talking point. No, I don't want to come off as insecure. Like, who cares? Okay, insecure is insecure. You don't feel safe. You don't feel secure. Who cares about the terminologies, right? If you are truthfully feeling insecure, could they work? If you feel secure, you will pay for the cab, even on the first date. Okay, gentlemen, it's better that you end up paying for it for the rest of your life. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, just so you know, just in case that went over somebody's head. Anyway, let's go over this real quickly.
Sounds like Spike was right. It sounds like Spike was right.
And I've been paying every...
What's the secret to a 34-year marriage?
Yes, dear. Honey, you're right. You know you're right. How can I help? I have a good woman. That's the bottom.
So listen to that. That's very important. They ask him, what's the secret, right?
What's the secret to a 34-year marriage?
What's the secret to a 34? I want you, Katie Wanube. What's the secret to a 34? A 30, shout out to Auntie B, Auntie Temiti right now. I just thought about them. All the UK folks at the Gores Corner, right? All the 34 marriage. What's the secret? He goes, yes, dear.
Yes, dear. Honey, you're right. You know you're
Honey, you're right. You know you're right.
How can I help?
How can I help? I have a good woman. There is a short man on the internet right now calling this type of gestures simpish behavior. An extremely short man too. I will save him by his name. Okay. These are the problems. Everything is so serious. Everything is so serious. Le cracky jokey mo. Okay. And then he ends up saying, the truth is that I have a good woman. What kind of woman will make you want to say, yes, dear? Honey, you're right. You know you're right. Right? Obviously, that's a good woman. So, even if you're in a bad behavior, you should just say, that's just such as, no, you're lame. You're lame. You get stuck. You're too serious. You're lame. You know? That's what that is. Let's keep going.
That's the bottom line. That's the truth. Have a good woman who...
Have a good woman. That's your responsibility, bro. Have a good woman. So that you don't get stuck in talking points. Happy wife, happy life. That's just a simple. No, you're lame. You're just lame. Okay? If somebody says, I want my wife to be happy, why is that your problem? They want, it's a want, a personal want, their wife to be happy. That becomes your headache. That's a problem. That's a self-you problem. And it's a problem that has to do with you've picked a person you consider to be a bad woman in the past. Oh, you chop breakfast. You can't help it. To just think this way. You can stop. Now, this is Men of Prestige. And you can start thinking a little bit differently. It starts with a good woman. You pick a good woman. Oh, people do change. Yes, they do evolve and change. That's part of the equation, right? That's going to test your patience. This is real. Welcome to real life. Hello. Okay, the people you love the most are going to test your patience on all sides of the equation. There is x raised to power 3 plus yz equals to x, and then there's another z raised to power 3/3 at the logarithms of the, and then there's an x factor, and we never know what that is. That's how life works. Welcome to the real world. All right, let's keep going.
Who stuck by me through thick and thin, who raised our children when I was in London or Africa somewhere. It does get better with time.
Who raised my children when I was in Africa, in London somewhere, out of nowhere. Right? And people are just going to get stuck on lame ass stupid stuff like, was she a virgin when you married her? That's stupid. Stupid. Just stupid. I'm sorry.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it does.
Like wine.
Like wine. It gets
Children
better.
when I was in London or Africa somewhere. It does get better with time.
It gets better with time. It gets better with time. That's something we don't hear enough of anymore. No, if it's just bad by 2 months, just throw in the towel, call it quits. Yeah, you have the right, and they're not wrong. You have the right. But also the reality is that there's nothing that's worthwhile in life that won't test you, that won't drag you woto in the beginning, right? It does get better with time. It does. Okay. So it's a little tricky because we can't manipulate people. We attempt to do that sometimes and it doesn't work. We can't manipulate people to stay in a situation where they're feeling misused. I can't blame them either. Okay. So we have gentlemen, we have a lot of work to do. The society is a function of the status of the man's mind, the men. So it's all men's fault. Whatever, you can interpret it that way if you want. I don't care. Remember, you never care ever. Well, we're gonna keep the same energy, right? Don't care. I'm gonna tell the truth. No. Actually, I don't do that. I don't do that here. I do care. I want you to understand why. Okay, it's part of our social construct. Okay, whatever you're bargaining with is what you're gonna keep getting, and yes, that's a function of time, potentially decades. But the way we move is the result of how we've moved. The result we have right now is a result of how we've moved. And if we're going to claim to be the leaders of this society, how about we don't worry about whose fault? We just take responsibility for redirecting the course of things, right? I don't care whose fault is it. That part I don't care about. But we are the leaders, right? And there's a way we move that encourages the results we get. What will be the alternative word I just said? It's not my fault. Okay, then if you're that weak, give it up. You're not leading the society. It's very, very simple. Very simple concept. But if you know that we're not that weak, then we take responsibility and look at things a little bit closer than right and wrong and say, how can we help move in the direction we're looking to go? Okay? Let's see what else he said. It does get better with time. Okay? Sometimes it's going to get better for the next generation. You won't make it to the promised land. That's real life. Gentlemen, we're supposed to understand that. Nothing is guaranteed. You don't test out being patient for 2 days and come back and say, all of this shit don't work. I shouldn't tolerate that. No, that's lame behavior. Sometimes you won't make it to the promised land, but your children, you become proud of the fact that you set up a nice foundation for your generations to come. Gentlemen, we understand that language. Okay?
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it does.
Like wine.
Like wine.
Most important person in my life. 40 years. 40 years of sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Just because you call it sacrifice doesn't mean she can't smile. Somebody just said, I love the way they are speaking to each other there. Right? Sacrifice doesn't mean it's just painful, struggle, love all the way. Ladies, stop saying that. Okay? Stop saying that. There's no one that stayed in a 40-year marriage just because they're just nice. No! It's because they've also deemed it like this was all worth it. Oh, our parents were just suffering. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. That's that talking point.
Stop the cap.
Okay? That's that talking point. I grew up to know 3 of my grandparents very well. It wasn't all smiles. It wasn't all suffering. They're just people like you and I. They're trying to make the most out of life. A lot of laughing, a lot of good moments, a lot of emoguro, palm wine, sitting down, eating like you're about to finish your life with yam, enyo ati or begusi ati. Oh, lots of moments like that. Stop the cap. Now, are there people that suffered? Yes. Are you aware that we tend to focus on that as the grand story of everything? We do. Okay? We do. We tend to do that. All of us, not just women. All of us. We tend to bring that negative moment. We just tend to, I feel this way. Are you aware that you have a hard time counting your blessings? Like the rest of us. Right? I just want you to pay attention to the smile on this woman's face after 40 years of marriage. You think she didn't go through woto too? Really? You really think she didn't go through any kind of woto?
He shock you.
Let's continue.
40 years of forgiveness. She taught me about faith, spirituality, love.
That is a fact. My wife taught me about faith, spirituality. Listen, I was raised in the church, a church boy. Play keyboard, choir, I was raised all that shit, right? But nothing is going to spark off your growth. Like a person who loves you, but is also going to test you and pull you out of that mediocrity of whatever you want to call spirituality, where people are just telling that everybody's the devil, right? Everything will be tested. So when he says spirituality, faith, listen, when you get to a space where everything you believed in has been like, the only thing you have left is faith, you don't really have a choice. That's real. But why do I have to do that to go through life? I know. You don't have to. Nobody ever said you have to. It's just that you will. You probably want to carry what? And then you mistakenly have a child. And then you're still in the poto like the rest of us. So now you have to build a structure around not just your life, but other people's life. And you want to what? Escape what we call life, the human experience, just by adding 1 + 1 = 2. Yeah. That's why they call them simps. Simple, gullible mind. Just, if it's not simple enough, it must not make sense.
Real love, unwavering love, in spite of myself.
Real love, unwavering love in spite of myself. Somebody say he's just being nice. No, you're just being lame. But it's okay. It's understandable that people that don't have any experience might feel that way. People that don't have any experience, but they have access to the largest amount of information we've ever had access to. Right? It makes sense. Pride makes sense at that point. Yeah, like at your fingertips, all the information. Chat GPT, just ask it. Everything. It's right there at your fingertips. But no experience. And worse, if the little experience you've had is just bad. I understand. But be guided. Guided. Be guided.
I would not be alive without Pauletta Washington. I wouldn't be alive.
He's just being nice, Abby. You think he's just being nice? Oh, let me see. What's this? I love the way they're speaking. Big love, kisses, and chicken grease. Everyone else, gracious greatness. Wahala. I don't know. I tell you, the strength of your love depending on how much you suffered, endured. Yeah, this is how life works. Okay, the strength is almost I want to be careful saying that because I don't want you to think it's just all suffering. I already said that, right? But like, listen, no pain, no gain. Let me just say it like that. Leave it alone, okay? Oh yeah, so I for become bodyguard so I can provide the safety and security. Is that correct? No, emotional, bro. I know you're joking, but emotional. Bodyguard know they work on this one. I mean, they done in the UK too. Oh, you're in the UK. I was 34. Lame as iron, know what? I didn't say that. Happy wife, happy life. Well, holler. You say that to some people, you trigger them really badly. They will start calling. You still happy wife, happy life. They just be triggered like, Akilo de. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́rọ̀. Wahala. For who no get happy wife. Like bicycle. Anyone asking that question, were they virgins themselves? Rubbish. Wahala. Ojibra yepa. Ojibra now. Wahala for who no know Ojibra now. Hey. Could it be because when we pick our spouses, we don't consider the full aspect of our lives? Someone can be a good husband, but not a good father. Others can be good fathers, but not so. It's all of that and everything in between. You know, when we say I do, we don't know what we're doing. Very simple, okay? So when you enter it, you remain a student, okay? Your best teacher is your partner, okay? not some lame ass short bastard on the YouTube. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm throwing some shots, but it's okay. Right? It's okay. There ain't nobody, so it doesn't matter. Okay. You get the gist, okay? You remain a student. Your best teacher, there's going to be many teachers, like what Denzel was just sharing, but your best teacher is your partner. That doesn't mean what the words they're saying, not necessarily the words they're saying, but understanding them from a place of understanding, you know, just emotionally for the most part, you know. So, yeah, the others can be good father, others can be good husband. I'm starting to look at that sideways. It's becoming a talking point. Okay, there's too many people that are ending up in avoidable divorces. Yes, I said it. Voila. Okay, avoidable. Okay, it's not everyone that needed to end up like that. If it ended up like that, you can call it was meant to be. But it's time to understand something. Can you look into the past and learn some very vital lessons and don't justify BS? There's just some things you didn't know. Listen, for those of us that we end up at 15 years, well, you know, a big chunk of it is luck, okay? But there's a lot of work that we've done as well. Okay, a lot of work. He tested everything that, you know, we when it's space to that, we say, fuck this shit. Okay? What's up, babe? All right. So it's not, this is, I'm starting to hear the good father, but not a good husband thing. It's starting to sound like 1 + 1 = 2 to me. Once you start hearing as a repetitive talking point, everybody is saying, I want you to look yourself in the mirror and say, what does that even mean? Let's dig in deeper. What's in between this? Because it sounds like 1 + 1 = 2. There's an X. There's an X factor. And that's the one that's really, really causing a lot of trouble. Okay? Because everybody knows what the rules are. You know what the rules are. Just love each other. Just come together and love each other, right? Love each other till death do us part, right? Everybody know what that shit is. We all know what that is. From birth, right? Some people refuse to learn beyond that. And they start repeating that talking point at 32. And they wonder why I'm 32. And, you know, what happened? What happened was, you know. Well, anyway, I'm still managing my time here. So sagaciously, it's that and everything in between, the X factor. That X factor is usually has to do with you. There's some principles. Number one principle, unity. A house divided against itself cannot stand. If you're correct and you're right and everything is correct, if your husband or your wife doesn't subscribe to that same ideology, no matter how correct it is, there's division. Could it work? That's simple. So what is unity? Is a moving target. Are you aware of that? Oh, but you said this yesterday, bro. It's a moving target. All right, it's a moving target. If you understand those two principles and you understand that systems are not your mate, you set up systems. Systems mean both people subscribe to it with room for continuous conversation, fun, lots of kerewa, continuous conversation. Check your pride. Yes, we all got pride. All of us. I don't care how you were raised. You've got pride. All realistic expectations, check that shit. It will destroy everything even when you're right. Blind spot. Ask why, what? Oh. I didn't see it that way. Well, I kind of disagree. But I see where you're coming from. Oh, damn. I'm upset. Okay, let me go and sleep. I wake up in the morning. I'm here, babe. I'm sorry about yesterday. But this is what I was trying to say. I didn't feel like you got what I was trying to say. Okay. All right. We'll work it out. Let me go to work. Let's talk about it when I get back from work. Right? This is how it works in real life. And some people, they just get to a place that gets very, very... Yeah. It starts with little resentment, little small offense, right? It goes through the roof, right? Hit that like button, I beg. Hit that like button. If you're enjoying it, hit that like button. Let's see. Some are hood wives, but not good mothers. His wife took care of the home when he was away. Some women will think they are being neglected. Yeah, it depends. Some women do feel that way. They feel neglected. But it's usually not just because he traveled or because he's in the army. There are deeper issues. they're usually floating in the emotional zone. The emotional is that zone that I'm looking for? In the emotional realm. Okay. They're not stuff you can easily pinpoint with your fingers, right? Because they're not right and wrong. It's like, no, she's actually freaking wrong. And even if you tell your father or you tell somebody, you say, yeah, you're right, she's wrong, and they will try to check her, and you're still ending up in more poto. That's why family meetings are terrible to fix marriages. They don't work. Oh yeah, but I did family meeting and it really helped me. That's not what helped. That's just happened to be one of the things in the sequence. It doesn't help. Be careful with family meetings. Be careful with calling the papa over to come and help you sort it out. One person is going to resent. One person is going to feel like talking in the issues for the next 3 years, and then to come back even bigger. Be careful with that. Just want to throw that in real quick. But Yola Doce said more than Diso. Which one? I missed that. Excuse my French toasting. Was that toasting French or something? What happened? Words of affirmation truly is a love language. Yes. It's one of my primary. I think it's number 2 for me. Number 1? Actually, number 1 for me, actually. So it's no wonder why I tell people, watch your mouth. Social skills, right? I value words. I do. So at very subconscious levels. I can control not showing how I feel, but trust me, I feel some type of way if you use the wrong words. Yeah. Yep. It's real. Sagaciously say fluidity, right? Yeah, like Bruce Lee said, be like water. Like water, right? Like water. Yep. Don't be rigid. If you're rigid, you're a stone. We will throw you against the wall. Okay? Don't be so rigid. Nothing in life is, anyway. Everything evolves, everything moves. So if you're that rigid, it's like, why? You will sink all the way to the bottom of the ocean. You was always happy in his wife until he brought Judy. Yeah, that's social media stuff. That's social media. We're talking about when I'm quietly in the room with you. Am I able to say, yes, baby, you're right. You know you're right. Come over here, give me a kiss. Without nobody watching. Are you able to do that? Are you able to say, come over, sit on my lap? Right? Are you able to say, my okom, you'll worry me? Are you able to do things like that? I mean, it's awkward for you. Yeah, if it's awkward for you, sure. There are a bunch of snatchers. We talked about snatcher today, right? And then you'll be like, oh, no, they're just evil. I was like, bro, part of that equation. Remember that X factor? Part of that equation is that you find it awkward to say, oh, no, worry me, awkward me, my husband, my Lord. When they say, there's a video that says, somebody said, my Lord. I forgot to bring that video here today. And a bunch of women like, my Lord, the Guinea. Like, it's awkward, Abby. Yeah, okay. You just want to do baby, honey? Okay. There's nothing wrong with all of that. I think all of it is good. I'm just saying, if you get triggered because somebody say you should be calling your husband my Lord, it's not just what you think it is. There's something that's triggering that, right? If they said, oh, leadership versus partnership, like, partnership. No, I didn't do partnership like this. And they don't have to fight each other. Two things can be true at the same time. Conversation for another day. But shout out to Denzel Washington for giving us some good material here. Words have power. He too couldn't have survived until Judy showed up. Yeah, that's just social media stuff. They were suffering in that marriage for years. At least she was. He was always on the road, right? But at least she was. Nothing just rise to the surface and just fall out of the sky for one day. That's not how that works, you know. Dilo says snatchers will reset your brain, especially when we talk about it on Merit of Prestige. Yeah, it's not just he's a bad person or snatch word. Oh, it's his fault because he wants to be snatched. No, there's more to it. Yeah, you're right, but there's more. What else? Oh yeah, but why does he need his ego to be stroked? Like, is he not an adult? Yeah, that's how you feel. Okay. This is real life. It's an active marketplace. Okay. It's a very active marketplace. Values exchanging hands from people to people, and sometimes it's the form of your husband. Oh, I know. Bad behaviors are still bad behavior. Don't get me wrong. But let's talk about all of it. Everything. All right. So let's do this. I think I have maybe one more to cover today, and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about Pastor K. I like reacting to Pastor K stuff. I should do more of it. Shout out to Pastor K, shout out to Denzel, TikTok, all those other platforms. But before we get into this, let me see. Sagaciously, I missed something there. You said, okay, so you were comparing Denzel to Yul Edochie. Ha! Aye me. Hey!
Hey! Aye me, temi, ba me.
Ha! Sagaciously.
Apostle, we hear of this.
You were comparing Denzel Washington's marriage, 40 years marriage, to Yul Edochie's marriage. It's not a bad, I think it's a question, I guess. The question is not too off. Yeah, because they were together for how long now? 15 years? 20 years or so? Maybe 15. And it's still Pafuka, right? So who is this? Like anybody can just hype their, like, right? Anybody can just hype, right? I see what you're saying there. I see what you're saying there. The comparison of Denzel Washington's marriage to Yul Edochie's marriage. And they're both actors, fine actors, right? So Denzel was always on the road too, right? On the road in Africa, in London, right? Yeah, it's the X factor. We will never know. By the way, Denzel can come back tomorrow. Let me say this right now before we bring Pastor K to the table here, to the pulpit. Denzel can turn around tomorrow and say, this marriage is over. It just didn't work out. Shoko Sheleri.
Abba is a lie. Sabi lie.
You know, man, Shele. It's not a lie. It can happen. Listen, especially the gentleman listening to me right now, okay? Nothing, I repeat, nothing is life. Nothing in this life is guaranteed. Nothing. Okay? Nothing in this life is guaranteed. Let's lead with that, first of all. Okay? Nothing in this life is guaranteed. But as human beings, we have incredible radar for BS. You can smell it. You just know. You might not be able to pinpoint it, right? You might not be able to prophesy it, but you just feel it. You just know that something is authentic. Okay? So the question is that, am I willing to bet? In spite of the fact that nothing is guaranteed, he can come tomorrow and say the marriage is over. Am I willing to bet that Denzel Washington and the wife are going to withstand the test of time? They're not going, unless somebody buy. They're not going anywhere. Am I willing to bet? Yeah. Nothing more than my monthly livelihood, Sha. Nothing more than my monthly livelihood, Sha. That's about it. Not only that, even Will Smith and wife, they will last and stand the test of time more than your average marriages out here right now. Okay? How do I know that? Because they've broken it down all the way to the foundation and rebuilt. No matter how terrible it looks to you on the outside. You can just know. Like you, we didn't see that coming. You're right. You're right. We didn't see it coming. You know. All right. You don't value someone until you lose them. Snatchers are always waiting for any opportunity. Shout out to Brother Patrick. And the opportunity is real. You know what I'm saying? That's the part of the conversation we never have. That's why I will bring that. I'll pull the Snatchers is a bad person. You're right. But the other side of it, like, protect yours. Okay? I saying, like, don't go there and say, hey, why does this Nikki need to be ego? Need to be so? He's a human being. She's human. And a woman. Right? Oh, baby. Nobody your mate. Protect. You edify. Become a person of edification. Edify yours. Make it your business to blow his head through the water. Yeah, his ego. You know, very, very important. Okay, but we'll come back to some of the. Let me play this. Pastor K has something to share with us. I think it's related too. So let's just listen to Pastor K.
I notice is that nowadays women are. Another thing I notice is that nowadays women are also, drinking and smoking like men. Women are also partying and clubbing like men. The modern woman is facing identity crisis. So she wants to party and.
The modern woman is facing identity crisis. Pastor K said it. It's true. It's true. It's true. How do I know it's true? Well, I don't know. Let's listen to the rest of it.
Dress naked, and so nowadays you can't even tell who is a commercial sex worker and who is just a normal lady in the club, because
nah, just let them dress how they want. Let them do them. What is your business with that? A man should not be speaking to how a woman dresses or what she chooses to put on and all this kind of stuff. Listen, every talking point has a space, has a place, right? It's a right time and a place for it, right? But talking point has one habit. They will destroy the whole society before you look back and there's casualties everywhere. And like I said, if you fix it, you might not get to the promised land. Though. It might be your children that will enjoy it. But there will be casualties. Oh. Okay, let's see what Pastor K is saying again. Many of you love Pastor K, so safe zone.
they're trying to be as wild as men. You need to understand that a man can actually continue living this wild life without getting married, but the average woman desires instinctively.
Instinctive. Instinct is not your mate now. No. But they are the same thing. They can. Instinct is not your mate. Oh, listen. That's why I come here. I tell you, say, oh yeah, but some don't want to. But yeah, I'm not. Why should those people be on this platform? They're welcome, I guess, but we're not talking about them. They're good to go. You want to live in a cave? You don't want to be connected to a man? You don't need a wife like the other gentleman I gave the example early. I just like Kiriwa. I just want to walk around the town and pay £200 every week to Kiriwa anybody I like. He go collect big time. Hopefully it won't be disease. Okay? Listen, there are principles that guide this life. That's true for every single one of us. Even when you are the exception, you go collect. Because society and socialization is not your mate. You don't make up your own rules. Don't do that. Oh, just, I don't follow the world's rule. I don't follow people. I just do it. That's stupid talk. Let me just tell you what it is. It's ignorant at best. Unless you live in a cave. I'm guessing you don't. That's how you can hear me right now. Let's keep going.
Naturally desires to marry, desires to have children. There's something in you that wants security. Men don't need security. A man will be happy to have 10 wives,
Obviously, he's generalizing, but there's a lot of truth in what he's saying. Okay? By the way, men to go collect, if you spread your seeds, basically you're spreading your resources all over the place, is stupid too. But I'm just saying, at an emotional level, when it comes to this romantic thing, they're kind of allowed to do anyhow. Guess who allowed them the most? Women. Ladies, now una. now good. All right, let's keep going.
No wives, 10 girlfriends and 10 children with 10 different people. A man doesn't care. Men run away from their kids. There are times a woman comes to a man, oh, I'm pregnant. He runs away. He denies the baby. Men have no emotional.
Terrible behavior, but does it not happen? Right? Again, he's generalizing, right? But there's a lot of truth that you should pay attention to in what he's saying.
From their kids. There are times.
Oh, by the way, generalizations generally have truth in them. Right? So, but there's something I wanted to pay attention to there, right? And I think it's something I've been repeating for a few days. We're different, okay? We're different is not a bad thing. It means we can complement each other, right? It means you should just be aware we're different. It doesn't mean you should encourage bad behavior, okay? Because, listen, if you encourage bad behavior, you too will collect, But you should be aware of certain differences, right? And while we'll continue to fight for equality at the standpoint of human rights, workplace rights, and stuff like that, when it comes to this career thing and intimate relationships, brain because they work, right? Because you can't make two equal things complement each other. It just doesn't make any sense. Could make sense now. go right now.
The woman comes to a man, oh, I'm pregnant. He runs away. He denies the baby. Men have no emotional. I mean, it's not instinctive. Yeah, there are a few that will be emotional, but most are not. But it's hard to see a woman that doesn't care about her baby. It's hard. It's rare. And the scripture says, can a woman forget?
Somebody right now is saying, I know women that don't care about their babies. So, yeah, congratulations to you. You missed the whole point. It's okay, Sha. Let me continue.
Forget her suckling child. It didn't say, can a man forget her suckling child? Because the man will definitely forget. So women are being pressured now. So women are smoking and drinking and smoking weed. They are taking drugs. What you need to realize is that most men and women that go to club, a lot of those men don't want to marry those women they meet in clubs.
Wait, is that a surprise? Is that newsflash? Somebody learning that for the first time? That most men that go to the club don't necessarily want to pick a wife from the club. It's not like it doesn't happen, but they don't want to do that. Is that newsflash? Somebody said that's a newsflash. It's a newsflash. Yeah. I don't care. I'm still going to go to the club. I deserve to go to the club too, really. Sure. Listen, in this world, especially if you're in the Western world, in fact, they want you. They will let you enter for free. You know why they let you enter for free? Because you're not a man. No man is entering that club for free. Why? Because we're different. They will let all the ladies enter for free. Why? Because the men will come and see. Do they want to carry you home for a wife? They might. That's not what they want. That's not what they want, though. But that's just terrible. Men should be able to control themselves. Like, I know. It's just not the reality. That's fantasy land. La la land. That's fantasy land. Okay? Sagaciously speaking says, Will Smith and his wife will last forever. They have found a solution to the problem. Open marriage. Yeah, you're on the internet. You should read Will Smith's book. You're talking about internet talking points. Yeah. Traditionally, women walked naked, didn't they? Here we go. Congratulations to you. That's not what he's talking about. You're absolutely correct. That's not what he's talking about. All right.
The man that the modern woman is dating is still a traditional man. That's what you need to realize. Most of them.
Not only that, all the women in his life, I think it's going to say that too. Let me say it anyway. All the women in his life, right? The ones that have also ended up in club and making the same talking point, they don't want their son or their cousin to be with that girl in the club. They don't. The one that's walking around naked with miniskirts in church, right? Listen, miniskirts in church. Oh yeah, but you know, it's Ballade church and so on. Like, bruh, somebody is looking at you sideways. Shout out to Blessed, right? It's a social awkwardness. I told you it's on every side. You're socially awkward. There's certain place for some things. You're disconnected from that because no, I'm just gonna do me. That's the generation we find ourselves. Everyone is like, let me just do me. And the truth is that you can't do you. It's not realistic. You can't do you. You live in a society of people. And there are rules. Either you conform to it or you're forced to conform to it by force, by fire. With your result. Let's pay attention.
They didn't get the memo. They didn't get the update that life has changed. So most of those men are still traditional in their mind. They want to marry a homely woman, a respectful woman, a godly woman. Now, but they're dancing in the club with you, smoking shisha.
So they're encouraging the behavior. You see why it's a problem everywhere? They're encouraging the problem, right? That's the point we're trying to make.
Whatever it is, they're smoking weed and drinking, alcohol with you, but they don't want to marry you.
And so they're wondering why they can't find wives too. They are very quick to say there's no wives everywhere. What did I say earlier on today? I said the society is a function of how the man moves. All that needs to happen is that men won't patronize that kind of behavior again, and it will naturally stop because market no be your mate. Okay? But as long as there's market for it, either by way of emotional, because oh no, but we're just tapping like we don't want to take them home, bro. It's still market. It's still market, right? If there's market for it to continue to exist, it is what it is. But something to pay attention to if you want to single yourself out in this behavior. You want to become the individual that can say, you know what, I can't relate with that, right? Some of you don't smoke shisha, you don't go to clubs. So you don't just be aware, right? That socialization, meaning numbers, are what they are. When they're showing up in the stats and data, they mean something. It's because we've been moving it's lagging indicator, but we've been moving some type of way. And you should pay attention to it too. As much as I want you to pay attention to real-time data, you should also pay attention to, the breakdown of society, if you want to call it that. If you don't think it's breakdown, that's fine too, right? But I think the idea is to put structure, the family structure in people's lives, and quality of life just simply improves. Just by that. It's just a very simple idea. It's not off the radar like that. Like, it's just family structure. Like, you put resources together, you're able to go further. Two heads is better than one, right? That's just something very simple. It's not that much of a big deal, right? But clearly, humans on a general scale have decided at some point and say, you know what? He who finds a wife finds a good thing, right? You know what? Let's procreate. MRBC, MRSC, right? Just humans, at a general scale, it doesn't mean there was no Argon, a person that couldn't just have babies. It doesn't mean there was no person that didn't have fertility issues. It doesn't mean that there's no extra circumstances where somebody is sexually oriented in a different way, right? We're just talking at a general scale. Pay attention to that. Listen, if you're going to swim against the trend, all I'm asking is that you better know what you're doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to drown. You will self-destruct because socialization will be your mate. That's all. You have to create new rules if you're going to create new standards. You can't operate with the same energy you operate in this rule with. It just won't work. Simple stuff, right? Like, it's not that complicated.
You don't want to marry. So these are the reasons why we have more and more more sex, less marriages. We're having more sex, but less marriages. So most men you are dating are traditional. They don't want to marry a club girl. But they can dance with you in the club. They can sleep with you after the club. They can smoke something with you in the club. They can drink something with you in the club. But they really, really want a homely woman.
Yeah, shout out to Pastor K.
Who doesn't care about her baby.
Shout out to Pastor K. I think his point is well received, Let me see here. Gomez says this is a general thing. Yes, it's a general thing. Sagacious says, but he's generalizing. So let's generalize MOP. You're being biased. So no, it looks like you just started coming here. I've always said generalization is a part of this deal. When you're talking on the internet, you have to generalize. But if you're generalizing at a level where you're not telling the full story, or you're not a Pastor K, you want to help people, like, nah, you say something like, oh, all Nigerian women are evil, don't bring them to America. Like, bro, what do you mean? Can you tell me the rest of the story? You're not wrong, right? But tell me the rest of the story. That's what we've always said. Not that generalization is wrong. We all generalize, we just have to sometimes, especially if we're talking on a public platform, But I think he made some good points. He made some good point. The main point is not the generalization. He did grossly generalize. But the main point, I think, is that society is really trying to... the standards of society is changing. There's dynamics that's changing. It's moving. It's evolving. And the casualty of it is just bad, And people are struggling to find love. And if you know anything about human beings, connection is major. Number 4, connection is major, right? We're social beings. All of this stuff, as much as we want to be able to take care of ourselves, we like it better when we get it from other people. Certainty, we like it better when we feel safe in our environment. But you're responsible for your own. Yeah, BS, cap. Stop the cap. You like it when you feel safe in your environment. If you don't, you start acting a certain type of way. Variety will like to be entertained. We like to, Allah, very beautiful painting. That's a fine man. That's a fine girl over there. We like things that it's not necessarily structural, but it's beauty to us, right? Significance. We all want to feel significant. Where does it come from? From inside? Listen, if you're a healthy person, a lot of that should be coming from inside, but also because hopefully somebody poured it into you as a child when you were being raised, right? Hopefully you can self-validate. But when other people validate you, can we stop the cap? We like that too, right? We like that now.
Stop the cap.
We like it, right? When somebody else says something, it makes you feel valid, right? We all do. And we don't like it. We feel some type of way when somebody says you're wrong. Right? Like, what do you mean I'm wrong? Right? Connection. Right? Connection. We're social beings. Plus emotional. Right? If you come here quite a bit, you like romance. You're hopeless romantic. Oh no, you don't know me like that. Oh me, I don't care. I mean, I can leave, I can die all by all by myself. Oh. I beg you.
Don't care. Don't care. Don't care.
I beg you. Growth. We all don't want to feel like we're stagnant. You start to feel unfulfilled. When people say fulfillment, growth, you're feeling stagnant. Feelings. You can even be growing, but feelings disconnected from the growth. Now, voila. Contribution. We all want to contribute to other people's lives. We all enjoy when you're able to pull out $1. I said $1 like everybody's from dollar. When you're able to pull out $1 and give it to that homeless person on the street, you felt good about that. That you were able to give a quick handout. You like that a friend could call you in times of need. Not all the time, but once in a while they were stuck. They called you for help. You like the idea that you could help them. No, I just do it because I'm just a nice person. Stop the cap. Yeah, that too, but...
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap. It's a basic human need. Contribution. All right? So, we're going to leave it at that for today. Brother Patrick says he's right to greater extent, to a large extent. I've told you before, don't turn my talking points into religion. They will fall on their face too all the time. We're on Prestige Hour number 111 right now. Prestige Hour number 1 was calling out gross generalization, the Bishop episode. We're on number 111. I told you from day one, don't turn anything we do here to religion. Okay, there's nothing I say that's always absolutely true. There's nothing like that, right? But yes, he was grossly generalizing, but there were some really, really good points that anyone should run with, okay? Especially from a standpoint of self-awareness, right? If you are a sister, a mother, you know that you don't want your son, your nephew to bring home any old good old type of chick. You know that. If you're a father, you're somebody's uncle, right? You know that there's that guy that you don't want to see around your, like there's a way he talks. You be like, no, I can't let you be with my niece. Are you mad? Look at how you are talking. You're talking very disrespectful in the name of you're telling the truth. No, that here, right? You know this. You can reflect and say, it is true. I wouldn't like this. Right? We've all been young before. I clubbed too, right? I clubbed with my wife. I didn't meet my wife at the club though. As a matter of fact, I enjoy the fact, listen, call this selfish, call it all you want. Let me leave you with this. Right? I enjoyed quite a bit that my wife wasn't really a clubber. She wasn't that girl. Like she wasn't interested. There were quite a lot of times, kiss, okay, see you. She goes upstairs into your father's house, and I would drive her from there to the club. I enjoyed, call it selfish, I enjoyed the fact that she's not one of those chicks that we're about to go and be dancing with inside the club. It is what it is. I know, it's terrible, right? It's just the reality that you need to be aware of. If you say it's wrong, you're right.
You're right.
And if you say I'm right, you're also right.
You're right.
But I don't care about any of that. I just want you to be aware of the reality so that you can move accordingly, so that you can win. I want you to win. Win, Bitibawo. It's just my own rules. No. Win. It's a highly competitive marketplace. There's a way you move as a man or a woman that you will win or be a loser. It's very, very simple. Okay? Very active marketplace. Okay? So something was off with my lighting today. My face is supposed to be a little bit lit up more today, but I don't know what happened. But we started the show. We ran the show anyway. It was a good show. I enjoyed myself. Tomorrow we will definitely be dropping the link. So come prepared tomorrow. We have an important topic to cover tomorrow. Chinya says, when I was married, once in a while we go in the club. I absolutely love to dance. I love taking my wife to the club. Especially after we got married. But when I was earlier on, I like the fact that we didn't meet her in the club, and then we said good night, and then I end up in the club somewhere, and then my wife is like this over there, and another guy I call it bias, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think she said sagaciously say bias, right? I know, it's sad. It's called double standard. It's real. It's real. But it's part of things you need to be socially aware of. Right. All right. So that's all I have for you today. We did another 3 hours. Supposed to be 2 hours. I tried. But we have to keep the work going, right? All right. Thank you so much. On your way out, hit that like button. Please share and share and share. Don't get tired of sharing. Send a quick one-line note. Check out this guy. We're just having a conversation over there. It's called the Prestige Family. Check him out. Right? That's all you need to do, right? So hopefully been enlightened and educated. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.